Hello, and welcome to the very first official episode of the Totally Not Biased podcast. Today, I am joined with Brendan, Jacob, and Cody.
What's going on?
We got a fun little episode here. We're going to recap the fucking travesty of a UFC card that happened last night. We got some NBA talk, some NFL talk, and then we'll have a little bit of fun with our last call. But right now, I'm going to pass it off to our host, Cody.
All right, so very eventful night last night. We're going to get into the main events. The last three fights are what we're going to cover, and we're going to start here with the left on your reaction to everything.
Okay, so it was ridiculous. I've never seen a fight be dominated for the entirety of the 25 minutes in a championship fight, and then it just come down to that final minute. Maybe we should move. We should start with. Y'all want to start with Jose and
I can start unless Brendan wants to.
I mean, we know what the real storyline of this event was, but we could start with Aldo. I think he was very passive.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he really did what he was, what he's good at. He I don't know. I feel like he threw a lot more kicks earlier in his career. I feel like he just doesn't want to break that shit at this point. But I think that Merab's game plan was basically just to score points.
Yes.
Because he really didn't throw any significant blows. He did get a couple jabs in here and there and caused a little bit of damage, but it wasn't anything to really be excited for.
Yeah, I think Dana said it pretty well, saying that, what's his name, Merab? Mm-hmm. Merab went out there, he won the fight, but he didn't look like he was trying. He looked like he was trying to win this fight, but wasn't trying to fight for a belt.
Yeah, he wasn't.
So he's not going to fight for a belt, is what Dana
But
said.
he already said he wasn't. He came out at the end of the fight and was like, yeah, I have no intention of fighting Aljamain, which Aljamain's flirted with going up a couple times just so because he knows Merab's so good. Mm-hmm. But
what kind of arrogance is that, though, to say that you would be contending for a title shot whenever that's the kind of performance you're going to put on? I don't think Peter Yan's going to let that happen to him, I don't think that's happening to Peter Yan, where he's just passive and letting, you're not going to wrestle your way to a championship like that.
But that's what Aljamain did. That's exactly what Aljamain did with
strike and, attempts to strike. Whereas
Merab
didn't even really give a shit about attempting to get a knockout. Mm-hmm. It was really, really pathetic, I think. I think it was it wasn't, he did what he had to do to win.
Yes,
that was
it.
all that really came of that fight.
He seems like he's okay with his placing in the division, and
yes.
He doesn't have. Well, it might just be because Aljamain is his partner, and they train, and they're not. Because even if we talk about we're going to talk about him in a minute, but Usman, he's always said that I'd just rather go to light heavyweight than fight Izzy for the title. So, I mean, there's something to be said there, but. Aldo was 3. Aldo is 35. He's been fighting since 2011, and he was 3. You're in the position now.
Yeah.
I think.
So, what do you think's next for Jose or Jose?
There's nothing about that fight that made me say he's done.
Yeah.
And the problem is, dude. Hold on. Because
he's definitely on the last leg of his career, even though he's not fighting like he's on the last leg. He's fighting like he's still just as good as he has been.
He's he's
not even that old.
35. Yeah. I mean, Francis is.
There's still
a little
fighting
bit older.
in the UFC that
Glover
is
40.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean he could still compete in the division. He was the third ranked fighter, so it's I don't know, man.
So your all's perspective, you said Merab was fighting to not to lose, pretty much. Okay, so this
score points and win.
Okay, this has a score 29-28, 29-28, 30-27. So. Yes. Jose, I didn't get to watch, but did he get dominated that last round?
No, 30-27 is the whole. So each round is 10-9, 10-9, 10-9. That adds up to 30-27.
Yeah, I understand that, but that last round.
No, last round it was 10-9.
It was to the point where
he was pretty passive.
Jose was was getting to the point where he was gassed because he was trying to fight off the wrestling on
which he did really good,
and he literally the best defense. He's a master at defense.
Like you said,
he didn't get taken down
and I
once.
see that score, and I'm like, okay, did he just you know,
he could. Whenever he did land, he was landing pretty significant blows, and it didn't really amount to anything because it was like a full on attack to just get him against the cage and try to bring him down, and then land leg kicks to the back of the leg. It was boring.
Here is my going back to what you said. What is next for Jose and Merab? Likely both of them, because I mean, first off, let's just talk about it. It's one of the best fucking divisions in the UFC. I mean, just Aljamain, Pewter, TJ Dillashaw, Jose, Corey Sandhagen, Marlon Vera, Merab, Rob Font, Dominic Cruz, Pedro Munoz. Like, this fucking division is full of... That's the top 10. Mm-hmm. That's the top 10, and every one of them can compete for a championship. That's how good this division is. We're not even talking about people who are right outside, like fucking Sean, fucking Umar, Habib's cousin. They're right outside. Frankie Edgar, I mean, he's been kicked around a couple times, but I don't... My problem is, so as far as I know it's Aljamain and Dillashaw next. Mm-hmm. Corey Sandhagen fights... who does Corey Sandhagen fight soon? I don't know what you do with him.
Yeah, he's in a really bad spot after losing this. Or at least in a weird one.
Because I don't want to throw him a Marlon or Cheeto, because Cheeto, in my opinion, should be very close to fighting for a title.
I think he'll probably fight winner of Jan and O'Malley. Because I think they want O'Malley to win. And then
fucking happening.
Yeah, I think they want O'Malley to win, and then they want to throw him against Cheeto, and then that'll fight for...
time.
Yeah. I think that's what the UFC wants. If that'll play out or not, we don't know.
Dude. I
don't think so either.
I don't think Sean gets that done. I'm scared for Sean against Pewter, but Cheeto is a different level right now.
So how would you feel if Sean goes into that fight and just kind of does what he does and gets a knockout and
against Jan?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think he should just fight for the title. If he knocks out Jan, I think he's easily the.
I mean, there's really not many people ahead of him at that point because it seems like that's all he fucking does.
That would be a huge jump because he would be going from 13 all the way to.
Well, who else are you going to throw him against? Like,
I mean, there's a bunch of people you could throw him against.
Yeah,
because we could get
him back against Munoz. Like, that fight didn't really end the way it's supposed to. You know, he could get back in that shit.
Cheeto, we could have Cheeto, Sean O'Malley too. I mean, Sandhagen.
I think that's what they want.
Like, and that makes the most sense money wise, especially because Cheeto is the only person that's beat him. But
I don't know about y'all, but I feel like Sean O'Malley's getting to the point where like he's co-main eventing because he's that dynamic. So like anybody
he's a money draw.
Yeah, he's just so electric, and the way his last fight went was such a devastating blow to the UFC because like he was on a very significant card too. It just sucks that that's the way it's gone for him. But I don't know.
We can move on.
Yeah,
like I said, this next division's so hard. It is almost like we don't know how to predict it because I would assume Merab. I mean, I don't see Merab jumping Corey and Marlon to go to 3. I don't see them swapping. So maybe one up on each. Merab goes to 5. Jose goes to 4. Sandhagen and Marlon go to their respective places. But
I like that. Mean, the next fight was my most surprising fight because I kind of
this fucking fight was awesome.
It was great. It won fight of the night, I believe.
Good, it should. I think Luke Rockhold and Paulo should have got the Bitcoin.
That was
bonus
awesome.
From that too.
That was fucking awesome, dude.
I've never in my entire life when the bell is rang, I've never seen someone put their hands on their knees and just gasp for air like Luke did.
I know.
I couldn't even have to go into his corner.
His fight was so awesome.
They were like pretty much having to drag him into the corner. He was
bad. He was
done.
so gassed.
And he still made the full fight.
And made it a fucking like.
And like I thought he was going to win a lot.
Like I like they're towards like he was like. I mean, he was just like on a. It was weird because
it was
like,
super
fuck
cool.
you, and then just crack. It's like I'm like.
He was seriously throwing some of the craziest shit, being that gassed I've ever seen.
It looked like he was literally fighting for his life. Like he was so tired. He was so fucking like.
I think he was so gassed because he got tapped with some pretty crazy body blows early on. Yeah. Like Paulo threw some crazy leg. Like
Costa is easily a top 5 in that division if he can make weight. As long as he is staying to his diet and making weight, he's easily top 5.
His argument with fucking Martin Vittori when their fight fell through, Martin was like, "You fucking can't make weight," and he's like, "That's your problem, bud."
Yeah.
He's like, "I don't give a fuck." It's so fucking funny.
I actually like Paulo Costa a lot.
He's a god on Twitter.
Yeah.
He's so funny on Twitter. I just
Sad to see Luke retire after this. After he put up a fight that was extremely close to top 5 talent of the division.
Mm-hmm.
But I get it. Being that gassed in a fight like that, I don't know. He's not going to make it to 5 rounds.
He couldn't
Not
Fights.
pressure, but after the fight, it was
They
pretty.
kind of say it comes to you in the moment too.
Yeah.
I can't do this shit no more,
My
man.
body's kind of done.
Yeah.
I'm too old.
Well, you could
He's
see
not
it.
old now.
He couldn't stand up. He kept putting his hands on his knees like he was.
Yeah.
He
It was
was
so
gassed,
sad,
and he had to have broken his nose early because he
Yes.
was leaking the entire fucking
Yeah,
thing.
he had a
What
lot
a-
of blood in his mouth too.
No wonder he couldn't fucking breathe.
No,
Yeah.
No, he really
Shit.
couldn't
It was
breathe.
bad.
That's a warrior though.
It's so bad.
It was so good, and he made it a fight. He fucking that last 10 seconds where he fucking turned around and took full mount and just started rubbing all the
That was
blood
awesome.
off his face on Apollo.
He didn't
that
even
was
try
crazy.
to throw a punch.
Yeah,
He probably
was
could have
like-
got a knockout if he did.
I mean,
Oh fuck!
he was
It's
hitting
so
Paulo
awesome.
with rocks,
Oh, that
bro.
was
but-
that fight.
Yeah.
You see a clip of him smiling,
Yes.
on his face.
Paulo,
So
he was hitting
Paulo
Paulo.
great.
He was hitting Paulo with rocks, bro. But
It was so fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
I don't know.
But
I
I don't
guess
think it
not.
really changes the division.
Not at all.
Costa,
Izzy's
it just
still-
shows that Costa can now is taking it serious again.
Yeah.
Reaching weight, doing his thing.
Yeah.
But do we think a focused making weight Paulo can beat Izzy? Because I don't.
No. I think
He would
it's
really
just-
have to change his defense up because
He showed me something with his wrestling.
Yeah.
That looked good.
Yeah.
But I just.
it was mostly in the first fight against Izzy. It was the defending the kicks because his fucking calf got swollen
Yeah.
twice the size it normally is, and
Yeah.
And then-
I don't think he really was slipping
But-
punches very well.
Yeah. But honestly, who knows? Because the most unbeatable person in the entire UFC was beat.
I don't
Yeah.
want to talk
Last
about
night.
this
Yeah,
at all.
no,
Can we
that's
just
how.
skip over
I mean, we
this?
started this segment off with that.
Yeah. Usman was one person away from lapping the entire division.
It's so bad.
He was one win away from tying Anderson Silva, his record for most consecutive wins, I believe.
Is this more stunning?
And in the last minute of the fight that you were winning,
5 seconds on the clock.
you were winning the entire fight,
You go to sleep.
and you get caught. It was so well set up too.
Yeah.
Throw the left,
okay,
throw the
I'm-
left hook, that set up the left high kick.
I'm glad you said that because
Are you happy or more disappointed? Is it
All right,
like the
I'm about
Falcons
to-
blown a 28-3?
no,
like,
I was happy about that.
like,
Fuck the
You all
Falcons.
fucked it up.
So let me, because I've had time to think of this. I didn't go to bed early last night because of this shit. I mean, I held my mouth open for 10 minutes. Just like,
Dude,
what the fuck
that's-
just happened?
I'm glad you felt
Unbelievable.
the same way.
Are we fucking serious?
It's
Like,
ridiculous.
so I'm gonna start by saying,
Motherfucker, man.
He was really one win away from tying Silva.
Yes, this was it. This was the
that's
fight he needed.
You know what the name of this topic was going to be if he wins?
Yeah.
Is Usman the GOAT?
No,
Yes.
That is the level
Yeah.
of what we're talking about, and he can still beat that. Like
Yeah.
I think this is a small step
I don't think
back.
this knocks him down a peg on his legacy.
Oh,
I
hell
really
no.
think. I think that this was maybe the most lucky last minute.
It was
knockout.
an amazing. Now here-
Leon really didn't have anything to answer with throughout the entire fight.
Well, I'm gonna
The entire fight, he was fucking against the cage, fighting for his life to get, to stand up the entire time. There was no I don't think you really dinged him until that kick.
Okay, so here's how I'm looking at it, because I'm gonna just break down the.
I don't see Leon
The fight
Edwards
for
being
me.
Colby Covington. I don't see that happening.
But I'll get to that in a
see.
second. So the first round, if the fight would have. If the fight would have went the way the first round went, I think it would have ended in Kamaru winning, just because even though Leon showed that, hey, I am a better striker than you, and he was the first person to ever take Usman down.
Yes.
100% takedown offense until this fight.
Yep.
He gets him down. Now, here's where it changed for me, and this is where I'm going to get to why I think he fell for it. Because he was doing really good defending those leg kicks and those body kicks, and he was also doing really good in sending them back.
Yeah.
Which that is the thing with Usman. You know to attack his knees. He's got terrible knees. Both of them are just fucking. He's got Todd Gurley knees. Like that's how bad his shit is. It's bad. So you know you want to go after that. He did a good job of not only negating space to where he can't build up the power in those kicks. He did a good job of applying the pressure that I think a lot of people want to see when it comes to wrestling, because I think he puts on a different type of pressure that we haven't seen since Habib. Because whereas Habib, it's just relentless wrestling, you have to worry about this man's strike power. You have to worry about his striking. That's how he developed. Now, this is where it gets dicey for me, because there is a couple times in the fight that if Usman just had any sense of a submission ability, he probably could have put this fight away.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There was a couple times where just Leon was just, I can't fucking do anything.
Yeah.
This is like
he
they
really
were
looked discouraged by it because going into the final round, you can look at him in the corner. He just looks so.
DC said it perfectly. You can't learn the level of wrestling in a camp that someone has that's been wrestling since they were 5 years old.
Yeah.
You can't learn it.
Yeah.
Now, what really bothered me in the last round is I didn't want to see Kamara pull off. I wanted to see him just get him to the ground. Just fucking ride it out, bro. Who cares? You've been dominating this whole round. I felt like he kind of took a step back.
He got a little cocky.
Got not necessarily cocky, but
really
let me almost like Izzy.
He wanted to knock him out. He was getting pissed off because of he had a low blow.
Yeah.
It looked iffy to me. It may have been like the.
And they both had a couple cage grabs. I'm not going for that shit that everybody's doing on Twitter.
It was the whole fucking time they were on the cage.
Leon had a bad one. That one where he pulled himself back up. I was like, oh my god. He was being taken down,
and he had to use the cage to stay up. But Usman did it too. It was
it was bad between both of them. I think.
No, the thing is that after the low blow happened, it was really just like energy got kind of sucked out of that moment. They both got a break, and then Usman kind of stayed back and played range whenever he could have, went for a takedown.
He should have just piled on. I think that opened
He fucked up because he was like, that pisses me off. He really fed into his emotion there. Like,
because
I'm going to knock this dude out within
Leon is one of the most dangerous strikers in that division.
We've seen him finish before. There's no reason to try to make a point about a guy that you should have beat.
Yeah.
And then you end up.
And now you have to go through and do everything you've already. And this is the thing. This is the thing that bothers me the most about it. Because think about the different trajectory if he wins this fight.
Yeah, there's nobody else in this division.
He's tied with
Hamza
Silva.
Is really it.
He's lapped it.
Hamza
the
is
only
the last
person he has is Hamza.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like now,
don't sleep on Nate. Nate's gonna sleep Hamza.
Oh my God.
If Nate sleeps Hamza, I'll eat a fucking turkey live. A live turkey.
We're gonna have to
the one point that I want to make here is like when you seen Nunes lose.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
what was more shocking? Was this more shocking or Nunes?
Well, okay, so Nunes was another unbeatable. Yeah. Everyone.
The difference is her divisions don't have people that can compete with her.
Yeah. The difference.
She ran through Megan.
The big difference here for me is Nunes looked like she wasn't there.
Yes.
She showed up to a fight unprepared, just from what it looks.
Totally
the eye test.
Yeah.
She looked unprepared. She looked like she wasn't taking the fight serious, and she got beat by someone who did.
Yeah.
The difference here is Usman was Usman. Yeah. He was very much his best self.
Yeah.
He was winning the fight and got slept. So I give a lot more credit.
Anybody can get caught by
this. Though, can change with one punch. Like
the same thing with Leon. The same thing that happened with Leon against Nate Diaz. Like the very
he did the same thing, except Leon.
It was a complete reverse, where like Nate was being dominated the entire fight and nearly won, and then Leon actually won.
Yeah.
It's really crazy.
But Nate can't quit talking shit. Mm-hmm. If he could have just fought him when that happened, he probably wins that fight.
But Usman fed into that emotional side of the whole aspect of it. He really did to me. Like he actually pushed forward and wanted to knock him out within a minute left of the fight. That's not going to work whenever you have a guy that's like a world class fucking boxer. It's just not.
So you bring up the low blow. When did that happen in the fight?
That was like
a minute 30 left. It was close to the end of the fight.
It was really close to it being.
It was like 2 minutes maybe.
Yeah, so I'd say a couple minutes beforehand.
Usman's kind of been a little questionable about those. Like you've seen like the eye poke that kind of it didn't look like an eye. Yeah, like it kind of just grazed his eye.
He had the same thing with Colby. He had a low blow that was kind of questionable.
Yeah, so like I don't know. It was a little questionable.
Anytime you can get a break, though, I mean, it's kind of like a flop in the NBA.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this is more reasonable because it's close enough.
It does change pacing, though, and also change your mindset. Like, you know, if you do take it personally, like, oh, you little fucker, you might be a little more aggressive than you want to. You know.
I mean, you saw what they did with the cage thing whenever he tried to... kept.
Well, that's what you should do. That's what it should have done. That's what anytime that happens, that's what should happen. Leon only got up because he used the cage to pull himself up. That's the only reason he got up. Now, my question is, what's next?
Before that, what was the reaction after the fight? Was it humility from Edwards? Like, okay, I kind of got dominated the whole fight. Good GG.
Headshot, bang.
Really?
His words. Yeah. Headshot, bang.
And he was like, literally no one thought I could do it. I did it.
Like, fuck y'all.
Feeding him that Rocky. I mean, his nickname's Rocky.
Yeah.
I love it. And this is the thing that upsets me, because if this was any other
He's not undeserving of it, though. The fact
he won the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the point I was trying to make with the
within that
Nunes.
division, anything can happen with Leon Edwards at the helm. He could knock out anybody. If you can knock out Usman, you can knock out anybody.
So
that's how I feel.
Here is what's next. Here's my question. What's next for both? I think that.
Yeah, it's down running back.
But if we're talking money wise, let's go on and send them back to Birmingham and let's run this 3-piece and a soda back, and let's get Jorge in there.
Nah, they're going to run it back.
We could do that. We could do Hamzat and Leon.
You could, but the problem is the champion is deserving. You give it to the champion.
Especially being that close. Like
that's what I'm saying. This is why
Stipe won it?
Stipe still hasn't gotten a fight back. I get that.
Yeah, we don't know. Stipe's not out here going, I'm going to be back. Like, I'm fighting for that belt.
Stipe is considered the GOAT of the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
So you don't think he should, no matter what?
I think if he wanted it,
that's my thing. I think a champion should run it back.
I do too.
You don't fight. You give, especially someone who's held it as long as Usman and done what Usman's done. Because Leon knows. I'm not being that person, but Leon knows he got lucky. He knows he caught him.
And it's a split. This is the trilogy that'll decide who wins the trilogy.
The only other thing I was going to say necessarily about it is maybe Colby comes out of hiding now. This is his chance to win it.
I think Usman will run it back. I don't think so. But I really want Nate to win against Hamzat. I don't think it happens.
That'll be your chance. If Nate beats Hamzat, that'll be the championship
would that be
fight.
more of an upset than this?
Oh, fuck
yes.
I know.
Fuck yes.
Nate's never lost.
Nate is so entertaining, though.
Nate has never lost 3 fights in a row. He's lost his last 2.
What if he beats Hamzat, bro? Gives him his first loss.
His first loss in UFC. He's gone.
Someone broke it down.
That's the main event.
I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, that's a pay-per-view, too.
Yeah. It's going to be so fucking awesome.
So someone broke it down and said that you could see that in the 3-round fight with Hamzat and Burns, he was gassed.
Yeah.
The difference is
it's going to be a 5-round fight.
It's going to be a 5, and Nate does not get gassed. Or
go to sleep.
Yeah, more than likely, if it's doctor stoppage, is probably how this fight ends. Because that's what you bet on.
That's what you eyebrow or something.
That's what you bet on.
I don't want to
Nate.
Put it past. I mean,
but if these go into round 4 and 5, Nate could win that fight.
Yes.
It's very, very possible.
I mean,
it's kind of crazy to think.
Fucking current champion, he did it. He went 5 rounds with the current guy.
Nate
and didn't get
slept. Did not get slept.
Nate has pouring
blood the entire time. It was so fucking awesome.
Put your money on Nate.
Yes,
Nate Diaz is one of the most entertaining people ever. He's so awesome.
Nate has very deceptive jiu-jitsu well.
Yes.
Which could get Hamzat in some trouble if Hamzat wants to wrestle.
And I get you in an armbar and I fucking win this fight, make you look stupid. I
don't think it's going to happen.
I don't either.
But
I can't wait till the build-up to the fight.
Does Nate Diaz get a title shot?
Nate is
fight, though?
easily.
Yes, I give Nate a title shot if he fights. If he beats Hamzat, he has a title shot.
That's the thing. That's exactly what I was going to say. Nate usually doesn't want the title fight.
He wants the money fight.
Nate wants money fights, not title fights. There's a big difference.
But do you this is the only thing that I guess I'm looking at it from a sense of what I would do in the situation, but that completely changes his career if he gets that belt.
Who, Nate?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Because, if we're being completely honest, he's the most famous gatekeeper that the UFC's ever had.
Yeah, he's great.
He has
truly
never
wonderful.
been a championship level fighter, but he has always finished the
He
people.
will be toxic.
Like
He's going to be the super villain. Like
Yes.
he's going to be
if
calling out
Nate,
everybody.
oh my god, perfect scenario for the UFC. UFC, hire me. I got it, bro. We can do the WWE shit. We can bring
Yeah.
it. Nate goes out there and sleeps Hamza, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
talking about no chokehold shit.
like early,
Sleeps
or
him.
just
Yeah.
It's
This
got to be
is-
late
now
for Nate
this
to
is
win.
the
but
best possible
It's
scenario.
got to be rounds 4 or 5 for Nate to win that fight.
This is what I like. I hope this happens just for the meme quality, and this
Okay.
sucks because what I'm about to say is going to hurt
Yeah,
my feelings. So, Nate sleeps Hamzat.
Yes.
Kamara runs it back with Leon wins.
Yep.
Nate
sleeps
beats
Usyk.
Kamara.
And then Connor
Connor,
fights.
and then you bring Connor in.
Connor's the first triple.
Connor gets the fucking triple. He gets the triple crown.
Being
Man,
Nate in the trilogy for the triple crown.
They'll have
That's
a lot of hope.
that's the
and
goat.
ideas.
That's the
Hope
goat
he-
scenario.
Connor's been talking shit too all last night. He's like, I'm on the yacht.
Yep.
I'm on my Lamborghini yacht. Yacht to you.
The UFC is better when Connor's winning. I think
Oh,
he's
yeah.
on the downfall, but it's
Whether
just
he's
more
in it
fun.
or like, I
It's
think
just
it's
more
just
fun.
better. Period. When he's in it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, anything else? I mean, I think we covered it. I mean,
think that's all for the UFC, unless anyone else has something to say.
Next time we'll probably get into 282, but that's for another.
Yes.
That's for another time.
Well,
We got a couple before that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but 282. 282 might be special.
282
We're not going to say anything yet.
All right, guys, we're going to transition a little NBA talk. We're going to start with the late, great Bill Russell, Celtics legend, Big Six. His legacy and kind of what it means retiring a jersey league-wide.
Yes.
And what that could possibly mean for future retirees and why they decided to pick Bill Russell for this instance.
Well, I guess I'll start. I think
That's
that this sets a precedent for, like, in terms of not only what someone brings to the game, but the kind of outreach he has across the NBA landscape, what he does for the fan bases, and the kind of community work that he did was pretty phenomenal. He also set a precedent for what it means to be a champion. I mean, he is the most winningest player in NBA history in terms of championships.
Yep.
He leaves behind a legacy that's pretty unmatched, in my opinion. I think that whenever you go up against players like Wilt Chamberlain and all those guys that were dominating the league early on, and you were still capable of winning titles and setting the standard for what the Boston Celtics are and continue to be nowadays, like, there's really not any way to reach that bar. For what the Celtics have now, like, I don't know. I don't think they'll ever feel like they'll match that legacy of what Bill Russell provided for their team. And I think he is one of the most deserving players of having his number retired across the league.
Do you think anyone else will?
I really do believe
So,
that. I think that
That's a good question. You go on it because
Yeah.
I actually have something to say about
they.
that.
Yeah.
I feel like they held off on Michael just because of the fact that there's so many
Michael still
iconic.
hasn't been retired.
Well, think about it.
That's what I'm saying,
They
like-
held down on Bill until he passed.
Yeah.
So
maybe that will happen.
yeah,
with
when
Michael once he
Jordan
does pass.
passes away, is that when you get the
Yeah.
the
Well, he's
league
kind of
wide?
reactive to stuff, and plus he's
Yeah.
still alive. His face, he's the owner. He's on the sideline.
Yes.
You know, once he's
There's
not
so
in
many
the
iconic players that
pictures,
also
so-
wear those numbers that are currently playing, like LeBron.
That's another thing.
He's wore
How many people
23,
wear
won 6.
six?
LeBron.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they said the players currently wearing it can keep it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So after that, I mean, I don't see.
Your grandfather did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, I think that out of respect, you should change it. But I think LeBron has said that he's going to change his number.
He's tried to. I think it was a Nike thing. I think it was
Yeah.
a thing because he wanted to give Davis the 23.
Yeah.
And I guess production was already out on
Yeah,
something
that's
like
why
that.
he was.
Yeah, it was something
Yeah, he
weird.
was number
with
3
that.
last year.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think that this is one of those things where, like, because of how much, I don't know, just how much reach he had outside the NBA world and just how good of a person
In
he
the
was.
time period that he
Yeah,
had.
Yes.
with Muhammad Ali, I didn't know he was involved with.
Well, so was Will.
Civil
Yeah.
rights
All
and
of
stuff
them.
like that.
Yeah.
They were like
Well, when
it's-
you play in an era, or like you're an athlete in an era, whenever that level of inequality really reaches not only into your personal life but also into your professional life. That's one of those things that, like,
I mean,
it
I highly
should be
doubt
a
he
focus
didn't
of
hear
your
some shit
after.
from the crowd when he was playing.
Yeah, it should be. It's like Jackie Robinson with his situation. Like, you play in an era where you're physically gifted enough to really reach past the racism, reach past all the things that are real obstacles in your personal life and in your professional life. And Bill Russell is one of those guys where, like, he was always, like, a cheerful guy. He always had, like, I don't know. He had real insight.
One of the best
moments.
moments.
He was one of the most wise people in the NBA.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
One of the best moments. I'll kick all your asses.
I would kill all
Like,
of them.
he's the
White
epitome.
boys aren't very good.
So,
Yeah.
like, if you look at it, like, I mean, I'm just sitting here reading, like, looking at, like, Wikipedia, reading about him and stuff, and, like, he was never, like, the crazy scorer that Wilt was.
No.
Dude,
Wilt was-
these fucking rebound numbers, though.
Yeah, Wilt was the individual. Bill was the team player.
Yeah.
So this is just the 57-58 season. The Celtics won 14 straight game, like whatever that is. I thought that was for the finals. He averaged over the season 16.6 points per game, which is okay. That's good for a center.
Yeah.
This motherfucker was bringing down 23 rebounds a game.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck do you do?
And something kind of
Yeah.
crazy, he was probably, if just on a guess, 10 plus blocks, but they didn't count blocks as a stat.
He was the MVP of that season.
Yeah.
He was voted All NBA second team.
Yeah,
Yes,
that doesn't make
it
much
shit
sense.
doesn't make sense. They didn't count blocks, or his blocks would also be just through the roof.
His NBA impact was ridiculous. Like, he was clearly one of the best players in the NBA at that time. And even then, like, he was still winning titles with Wilt Chamberlain on the other side.
He's
so
the
it's-
best or arguably second best of his era.
Yeah.
Undisputed. Just
I think he's the
winner,
second
champion.
best, but he's
In terms
easily
of-
the most winning.
He wasn't
So,
as physically dominant
Yeah.
as Wilt.
Yeah.
But Wilt was also being
Wilt.
defended by Bill Russell.
Yeah.
So, like,
it's them two.
they were way before our time, and it really is it's a shame that we don't get to see players like that in our lifetime actually play instead of just like going back and watching our highlights and stuff. But like, I'm more concerned with the aspect of who the person was.
Yeah, and I think that's a
I
big
respect
part that
him.
played
It's
on
kind of
why.
like Jim Brown. Like some of these
He got the
iconic players within sports that really transcended what they did
they
as an
were.
athlete.
Yeah.
Like LeBron James will be that guy.
That's what.
Even though he's one of the greatest players of all time, he will still have advocacy outside of the NBA that really like hypes up even more of what his legacy is as a person because he's done like the I Am Athlete School. There's all kinds of stuff that LeBron does on a
So you think if
physical basis that makes him even better as a person.
So do you think if LeBron had a different number, would his jersey be retired league wide? Because like you could say it's 6, but it already is
I think
retired.
it will be an acknowledgement of
And
it. Like,
23 is going to be retired for Jordan before it would be retired for LeBron.
I think that
I think it'll be a joint thing. I mean,
Jordan's going to be alive by the time that LeBron retires and everything, but I think that will kind of solidify like, hey,
The timing of the two is going to really.
we're going
matter,
to
too.
just
Yeah.
league wide 23 is done. You know, that's how I feel.
But how do we set this though? Because like how does this going forward? How does this happen? Like
I don't think-
Magic's going to get his.
I like that they do it for like legends, like back in.
I was thinking
He's
nobody
played the
outside the
50s
top
and
10
60s.
should even be questioned. If it's not, because I feel like in general consensus, most people have Bill Russell in their top 10.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
with Will.
Yeah.
Like, same with LeBron. Same with Jordan.
Yeah.
Like,
So do you think Wilt will be retired league wide?
what's
Or
his number?
4? Well, he wore a couple. 4, I think he wore 33 at a time.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, he wore a couple different numbers. So, but I don't know. I don't think that this might be the only one. I could very much see that Bill is the only league wide. Everyone else will just
There
do
are players
it per
currently in
team.
the NBA that I think that could
I
end
like
up
that a
being
lot
in that
because
mantle.
when do you get to the limit where you're like, okay, we've retired 5, 6 kind of limits? I mean, there's
Like,
not a
is
lot of
30
players
gonna
on
get
teams
retired?
anyway.
Well, Curry's
That's what I was
not.
about to say. Yeah, like
It should be in Golden State, but it shouldn't be league wide. Is how
you
I
don't think so.
I don't think league wide should be for every player.
You can make a case that a lot of these players.
So you
have
think it
been
should be
transit-
really, like,
transcended.
it
The
should be
problem
special
is
cases.
the numbers that are
Yeah.
going to get retired are the numbers that everybody wants to wear. Like nobody's wearing 00 like Westbrook or shit like nobody's
Yeah.
wearing like fucker.
I'm with Brennan on this. Like with this particular situation, I think that Bill Russell was really more of an icon
Outside
of
of
the sport.
basketball.
He was more than basketball, and I understand why he.
I completely
and I
get
think
why
he deserves
they did
it.
this. And yeah,
Because once these guys, I mean, Jordan has touched the world. I
Yes.
mean, he's
Yeah.
a global brand. LeBron's done.
and LeBron's like
Yeah,
he's
I mean-
going to be talked about in that scenario.
Yeah.
Like he's going to be in the discussion of like he provided so much outside of basketball.
Yes.
And he was clearly the best player of his era.
I don't think anyone will be upset about that number being retired, but down the road it gets to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you can only
it's
retire
gotta
23
be very
if you do
selective.
it for both. You can't say, "Oh, we're retiring 23 for Jordan."
I think you should.
Yeah, there should.
I
be
think
acknowledgement for
100%. If you're going to retire 23, it shouldn't. And like LeBron's my number one greatest player of all time. If you retire the number 23, that is Jordan's number. It is not LeBron's number.
LeBron would be.
He would have no objection to that either.
He would have the humility. He would have the humility to be like, "Listen, Michael Jordan was my guy." When I was growing up. I acknowledge that he's of the great, maybe the greatest player of all time. LeBron's not. I don't know. I feel like he has the humility to sit back and understand the context of why they're doing such a thing. This dude won 6 titles, didn't lose.
Yeah, he'll have his number in Cleveland retired. You'll see the 23 in Cleveland will be retired for sure, and probably 6 too. They'll probably do both. Lakers will do it. Miami, I assume they already have 23 retired, but they'll do a special one for. Mm-hmm. Even though he didn't wear 23 there, I would just guess that they would do both numbers for every team that he played for. But maybe not. Maybe it's just the ones that he wore on those teams. Who knows? But he'll definitely have his jersey hanging from the.
Yeah. Speaking
hanging up
of the guy, we do got to kind of talk about him.
Yeah.
Because bag alert.
Yeah, LeBron James.
Fucking bag.
LeBron James.
He re-signed.
So LeBron re-signed for 2 years at $97.1 million. So we're going to talk a little about that, what it means for his future, his family's future, and speculate a little bit on what could be in the works, what he's thinking.
Yeah. Is this a surprise to anyone?
No.
Like the timing of it. I thought he would dwell on it a little more.
He had
especially because he's been talking with the team about wanting to build a little bit. And I know they've been trying to move Russell. That didn't go anywhere. He wants Kyrie. And we'll get into KD and all that stuff too. I thought the timing, I thought he would have waited a little longer.
Yeah, he had the opportunity to wait. I think that this actually makes it a little bit easier because it's really just 1 year. It's going to be a player option in that second year. So he has the opportunity to leave
Which
after
he'll
that first year.
probably accept just because Bronny won't be drafted until that next season.
Yeah.
So he will probably
it gives him
the
opportunity to sign an extension or to sign a lengthy enough contract with another team following that year.
I think that's just all this is. I think this is just my son's going to be in the league. I'm playing with my fucking son.
Do you think that's his number one?
Yes.
Yeah.
What
does he need to do? Outside of winning more championships, but I mean, come on. What does the guy do?
I don't think it...
Mm-hmm.
He's passing Kareem. He's going to be the
more
first
than
player
likely
ever with 30, 10, and 10.
He only has to average 16 points a game.
To
meet it this year, so it's happening.
Yeah, but he was I'm only saying more than likely just because injuries could sit him out a lot of games again, something like that.
I think that this team, considering that they were willing to go ahead and get this done, I think that they have something in the works. And to me, there's so much that needs to be done with this team because you're on the bandwagon that they're just old and shit. Which I agree with that to an extent, but when their stars are injured and they're not playing together, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And Anthony Davis needs to get.
But we're betting.
He's healthy.
It's different when we're betting on the people who do this shit all the time. Anthony Davis is always hurt. Russell Westbrook.
But we've seen what he does when he's healthy. Though.
Yeah.
When he's healthy, they get to a title. This
it's the
team
same
won't
thing
lose.
with C-Mac. We've seen what C-Mac does when he's healthy, but
yeah.
He's missing games and ruining the team because of it.
Yeah, no.
LeBron should not be averaging 30.3 points a game.
So this is...
I'm okay with it.
Bronny's not going to be the best in his draft class.
Oh, no.
He's good, don't get me wrong, but he's definitely not the number one pick.
He's like a mid-second round pick right now.
Do you take him number one?
No.
You signed LeBron, too.
I don't care.
No.
You don't think so?
No, not just for a year.
No,
you need to...
The thing is
if
that...
you're thinking about your longevity of your franchise, if you're there are 7 guys...
I'm just comparing him to people that I know that's
really?
in his class. Mikey Williams,
I get
Williams
it.
is a hooper.
It depends on the team,
has he said he's going to sign... he wants to play on the same team? He wants to play against him?
That's what I think everyone is assuming.
I think he just wants to be kind of on the same court in the NBA light with his son.
But I think there's a very, very legit possibility that he'll just sign to whatever team drafts him.
Yeah.
I think, depending on what team it was. If he goes to the fucking Bobcats,
if it's
Orlando, the Hornets,
yeah.
I said Bobcats, I'm thinking of the fucking shittiest teams in the league. He's not going to go there. He's just not.
Yeah, but that's people in the lottery. I think that teams are going to take
Hornets would
flyer
be
on
cool.
this opportunity, but I don't think that they're willing to completely
Could you be playing with
reform their.
LaMelo?
Get Melo smoking.
Yeah, I love that.
I think that
I don't see.
I think the thing that's going on with KD right now is going to be exactly why teams don't take Bronny higher just to get LeBron. Is because LeBron will probably be done after that year. If they play together, that's it. He'll probably play as many games as he can, and that'll be it.
It just depends on how he's.
He takes care of his body. That's another thing. He can go. He can manage games too as long as he wants. Like he's like, I play.
But how lucky is he going to be
this
to
year.
get to a team that can contend?
But like,
That's also willing to take Bronny.
all right, think about how many years away is it? Well, 2.
So
It's 2 years away.
yeah.
So it'll
So
be
this is his senior year now. Next year will be his
one
one
and
year
done.
in college, and then he'll be
yeah.
drafted.
So,
So
spring
we're-
of the following
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
So like, let's say the Magic are still trash, or the Kings. If you're the Kings' number 1 pick, you could take him. Also sign LeBron, get your first playoff berth.
I don't think he's going number 1 pick.
Is that worth it?
But that's what I'm saying.
absolutely
He's not deserving of the number 1 pick, assuming he doesn't
Right
just
now he
make
is.
the jump.
I mean, we could be optimistic about it.
And
Be like,
LeBron
listen, this
doesn't
guy
want
is
that.
completely.
Because you know
Bump the stock up.
LeBron's not going to want that.
I think
LeBron
that-
wants his son to earn it. Like,
I get that,
he's
and
not- he like imagine the thing that's going to be said. Like that is going to live with Bronny for the rest of his life.
If I'm
you were
the GM
only drafted number 1 because
Yeah. If I was a GM for a team, I would do it. You get the chance to have those two on the court together on your team. You're gonna be the top story of the entire league. Like you'll bring everything
And your
to your
team
team.
may be shitty, but if you have LeBron James fully healthy for the entire season, your team's a championship contender just because he's that guy. I don't know if he.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I think they make the playoffs.
no.
I think they can make the playoffs. Is what I would say if
You
he's
think
playing.
Bronny,
all year.
LeBron, and De'Aaron Fox are?
Hey, I think Fox is gonna. I think Fox is gonna step it up.
He's
But
nice, but
and
What
two,
is this?
honestly,
LeBron
I think that
slander right
It's
now,
not LeBron slander. It's just the fact that
You don't think you can make a Western Conference Finals
no,
with
bro.
fucking I don't
With
know
the
like
fucking Kings, dude.
the Kings.
Let's
The
say
Kings
Utah.
are awful.
He gets to Utah or
That-
some shit.
Yeah,
Do they have
Utah's
Mitchell?
different.
They still have Donovan.
Maybe.
they've also
Well,
got five.
that's yours.
I don't know.
You're throwing
It's
the-
3 years from
They've
now.
also got 5 first-round picks from the fucking
Yeah.
Rudy
As
Gobert
a-
trade.
I'm just
so
saying,
Utah
like-
will be a contender.
The context of the team does matter. I
Send
agree
him
with
to the
that. But
Magic.
like, we're not going to sit here and act like LeBron doesn't make the playoffs with fucking any
playoffs.
team in the
You're
NBA.
saying championship.
I think if you take
Yeah.
the GMs of that team, you all lose your job the next year. I'm sorry, but
What are you
like,
talking about?
I would take.
LeBron's gonna be like, "Hey, Bronny was they go fucking
It's 1
20 and
year.
60," and then he's like, "All right,
Oh,
crap,
then
I did what I wanted to," and then you're back in fucking poverty.
That I get a first round pick or like a good first round pick again. I rebuild my team, and I also got the biggest.
While you see these other 6 people who went ahead, you could have got other than Bronny.
Yeah.
You're like, cool, we had LeBron for 1 year.
I feel like y'all are really sleeping on
I think-
Bronny too.
Well, that's
To
what
an extent, I don't think he's going to be that fucking bad.
top 7 is
He's a
really
beast.
damn good.
He's good and high scoring.
Like let's not sleep on being the top 7. Like being the 7th pick in the NBA first round draft isn't good. Like that's
Yeah.
really damn good.
I feel like that's like his floor, and he's going to get better. He's got the best fucking.
so he's
player
currently
ever.
a 4-star.
As his fucking dad.
He's currently a 4-star. He's 6'3". That's what's going to hold him back.
He's going to be a guard.
You think Bronny wants that you know what I mean? I think that'd be more negative attention being like, all your dad's, you know, it takes from
Your
his.
dad is
He's
the
going to get
reason
the
you got
criticism either
drafted.
way.
yeah,
I
but
get
kind
that.
of he takes it like
He's already
he gets a
getting the
lot of heat
criticism.
for making it about him too. Like, oh, he showed up to this WNBA game. That's the Skip Bayless haters, but like, oh,
Yeah.
he's wanting all the attention on him.
No, it's stupid.
Like,
I don't think he should give a fuck. Like, if he wants what his dad wants, he should go on ahead and try.
Think
think
about how
Bronny
cool.
wants that too. Has he?
That's what I was going to say.
Like,
I don't know if he said it, but like I would assume that if he is being drafted, regardless on the stipulation on where he gets drafted and why he gets drafted, it's got to be cool to be like, yeah, I get to play my first year in the NBA with my dad.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's
who's
cool.
arguably the GOAT, like top 2 best players of all time.
Yeah.
Like I get to play on the same team as him. I get to learn from that
They
level.
have a good
He's been
relationship,
learning
too.
from him his whole life.
I know,
Yes,
but,
off
like-
the court, but
Now you're like on the same
They're
team.
basically-
together.
if he's got that dog in him, though, he
So-
wants to have his own legacy. I would not want my
I'm
dad's
looking
shadow.
at. I'm just
hovering
looking
over
at
me.
like the. I'm looking at like the betting shit for like Bronny and where he's going to be. Like this is also they're also assuming that you're likely going to acquire LeBron James throughout this.
Yes,
So
of
the
course.
top 5 teams
I'm looking at them.
are the
I love it.
the Thunder, the Kings, the Cavs.
Okay, so
The Cavs?
hold on,
Thunder's keep-
real
Bro,
quick.
imagine
Thunder
that.
have such a good young
Thunder is so good.
But
That might work.
in 2 years, you sign LeBron and Bronny, your team's crazy.
With Shy, if you
That's
keep
what I'm
Shy
saying.
and fucking okay, but
Kings.
so you got
I just can't see it.
Thunder
I can
Kings,
see
though.
LeBron adding another team to that list of teams he's been on, and
Thunder,
just to
King,
play a
Cavs.
year.
I think so.
Cavs
Could be
makes
longer
the
than a
most
year
sense.
too, maybe. I mean, LeBron's
Cavs
got the
makes the most
longevity on his
sense.
side.
Let LeBron come home.
Cavs.
Retire.
Cavs.
This
Man.
is where it gets nutty. The next two teams for the favorite. This is so. Those were the top three.
Yeah.
The Thunder, the Kings, the Cavs. The next two teams are the Warriors and the Clippers.
Oh shit!
If you're all right, so there you go. If the Warriors are
Curry, Clay, Dre, Bronny, LeBron.
in 2
fucking
years,
shit.
in 2 years, if you're either of those two teams, do you do it?
Yes.
Regardless on who else
But
is
this
there?
is also taken into the fact of they're thinking like this is where Bronny's going to be drafted.
What if he
Yeah, I get
elevates
that.
himself
Clippers
to
and Warriors?
That's
like
what I'm-
the number one pick though? Like, what if he's that good in college? Well,
Yeah, he
he's
could
at
be.
Duke or something. He wins a fucking title and is Player of the Year. Like, we don't
Absolutely
know if he's
could
going to do
be.
that
But
shit.
I'm just saying, if you're Golden State Warriors, you're at the third pick somehow.
Yeah, you do it.
You're the third pick. There's very much
How the
better
fuck would
talent.
they be in the lottery like that?
Don't know, but
I think they'll get him where he's at. I think he's probably a second round pick.
You think LeBron has
Adrian
that
is
much
one
of a
of
hold
them.
on the entire
Yes,
league?
yes.
Where they would just
LeBron's
be like
going
1
wherever
year.
Bronny goes.
Yes,
Wherever
here.
Bronny goes,
I think
LeBron's
it's
going.
pretty
You
fair.
think
You act like
I
LeBron
think-
has a whole. What did fucking Kobe do to the Lakers whenever he was torn Achilles, fucking broken legs, and fucked up hands?
It's a
Like,
little
I'm talking about the
Kobe
fucking
Bryant did
Warriors,
it too.
though, who he just came
Yeah,
back and
no.
I cannot
No.
picture that.
LeBron James
that
would
would
do
just
it.
be that would be
He could
wild.
easily do
I
that.
cannot see that, y'all.
I think he has a very
Holy
similar, not as high at this point. I think a lot of GMs would say KD's is higher, but I think that it would be pretty close on if he said, I demand a trade. I think that if every team in the league puts up a trade for him, just like they were doing with KD.
You think they just go to the same city and just kind of room together, so buy an apartment somewhere and be like,
Yeah.
"Let's go to practice, Dad.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
Wake up, son. Get your
You're framing this so fucking
I
weird.
can't. I
like-
just can't.
Fuck
he's-
that! On top
I
of the
just
money
cannot
that
picture,
Bronny's
man.
projected to make, his NL
You have a different
his
philosophy.
NIL deals are projected
Oh,
to
yeah.
be anywhere between $3 to $5 million.
Oh, he's gonna have a shoe deal. Like, he gonna
Yeah,
take
yeah.
over his deal. He gonna have his own
he's
side
gonna
gig.
have his own money. Bronny
Yeah.
will be staying at his own crib.
Yeah, he's gonna
Yeah.
be good.
But
So he's-
but if they're living this
Bronny, as
I'm
of right now, is not projected to be a first round pick in that draft.
That's crazy.
That's fine.
I thought he was definitely a first round pick. I didn't know he was a second round pick.
All
right.
I'm looking at.
I thought he was like the 10th rated
Yeah,
at
that's.
his position or something like that.
Oh, I thought he was
going
like.
into college.
Y'all want to transition into KD in the news right now?
Y'all wild with that shit. I can't.
Shakir is rated higher than LeBron right now,
Yeah,
or Bronny right now.
yeah.
Yeah, he's not even. Whoa, this has him going undrafted.
No, I
That'd
mean
be
he'll go
wild.
drafted, but
I ain't seen these like.
Some of these
Gonna be
outlets
a
are doing that just to
high
get the
pick
clicks. I
like
feel like too. This dude's not going undrafted.
I think the KD situation is annoying.
I'm kinda
That's how I
over it.
feel
I
it.
think he's annoyed with it. And I
Yeah.
think, I mean, we'll get into that. All right, we're gonna move on to KD because that could really shit the league around. So we're gonna move on to that. Anything you got any more to say on Bronny and LeBron James? You're kind of digging into the.
Yeah, he looks like he's digging into the
Draft-
lore. He's going.
draft
He's
analysis
going through the
there.
encyclopedias and shit.
So I'm just looking at like what the possibilities and like where he could go. The Pelicans are going to have more than likely they'll get the Lakers first round pick from the Davis trade, but they'll also swap picks with the Bucks because of the Drew Holiday trade. So they could have 2 first round picks. Thunder could possibly have 2 high first round picks because they get our first round pick trade from the Paul George trade. Rockets will have the Nets first round pick that's unprotected from the Harden trade. Like, I mean, I don't understand where this guy's saying he doesn't get drafted. Like, he's not even brought up in the second round.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know any of these people. The only person I know
It's about
is
the clicks.
Shakir, but that's because it's LeBron.
It's about the clicks. It's really just attention seeking.
But yeah, I'm
It really is.
on to KD because
If you don't think 30 teams don't use at least one of the fucking picks they have in the entire draft on Bronny at all, like that's just ridiculous. The value's too good. You're getting a fucking 20+ year vet along with his son and potentially a playoff contender immediately because of that. So
We'll see. I don't know if he. I don't know.
Because LeBron James, he's had issues with his injuries and stuff recently, but it's to the point where, like, if he does stay healthy, you should expect him to be in the playoffs.
But if that's his number one goal, he wouldn't mind playing 40 fucking games.
Yeah,
if
exactly.
He's suiting up with Bronny most of them. You know what I mean? If that's his number one goal.
I don't know. We'll see, but
it sounds nice. It sounds good, but I can't see him add another random ass jersey to that wall. So. You know what I mean? For his legacy, just to play. I think it would be almost just as cool them being the top matchup because the league would schedule that fucking Christmas. Like if he is in the Kings and he's still at LA, just in LA, California.
That leaves too much to chance though.
Yeah,
because then that's like, is he going to be playing?
He's got to be a starter. Yeah, he's going to be in the rotation, probably as a starter.
Exactly. If he's not going as high as you say, he might not even see the court. And it's not even a fucking.
Well, that would be the best situation because then LeBron could just sign with the Lakers and then they'll just give him a fucking rookie deal and let him come finish at LA. I think the Lakers will try and use it as a piece to keep him there, and I think Cleveland will try and use it as a piece to get him to come home because Cleveland's got some dogs too. Darius,
they're good. They're smart.
I like that. I didn't have any opposition. Now he's already been there too, and he's familiar.
But I think we should probably segue over.
Okay, how's everybody feeling about this KD stuff?
It's just annoying. Just get it over with.
I'm getting over it too. I'm the biggest KD fan at this.
So who's holding it up more? You think it's
the Nets? The Nets. The Nets want too much. Everything that I've heard is that there's a very good, reasonable trade, and the Nets are like, "No, we want more."
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. Yep. They have a price like I don't want to sell.
They have an unreasonable price because they don't want to lose him. Yeah. They want to have the excuse that they can't.
They
trade
have
him.
all the leverage.
That's what they
he
want.
is locked into a 4-year contract, and all the others.
It was Rudy Gobert.
Rudy
Gobert's deal really fucked it up because you gave 4 first-round picks and players for him.
Yeah,
well, that was a need. I don't think
that justifies the Nets' bullshit.
Yeah,
though.
it doesn't justify it at all.
It doesn't justify the Nets getting rid of him.
Yeah, but you got to understand it from the sense of if that's what Rudy Gobert got, everybody else in the league is looking
at it. You can't compare that.
That's how it should.
It's the same thing with the Browns.
I at least want that.
It's the same thing with the Browns and Deshaun Watson's scenario because, do you think any quarterback that wants a deal that is more accomplished than Deshaun now is going to get a fully guaranteed deal at least?
They should because of what the Browns did.
So
they should.
The precedent is set.
Yes, that's how it should be.
Past that, it's that this is the precedent now.
The same thing that's happening to Kevin is the same thing that's happening to Donovan.
Tough.
Donovan would have been done by now.
Yeah,
they just can't do anything because Donovan's better than Rudy.
Yeah,
and you can't do anything. Rudy fucked the market up. I'm over it from a sense of Kevin. I just want him to play. I'm not going to be that shut up and dribble person. But I just you're in the first of your 4-year contract. This team can win with you and
easy.
Whether Kyrie's there or not, I think
they're a top 5 team.
Is
they were the favorites going into the playoffs.
They are. If
put that into perspective,
if they all play, they're easily a top 5 team. Yeah. I don't think that you could really argue 5 teams arguably better.
KD doesn't want to be there,
or definitively
Kyrie
better.
Does, but they don't want Kyrie to be there. And now you got.
I think they want Kyrie. I think they want Kyrie, but they want him to commit, which he obviously has.
Well, it's better for their team because if they have Kyrie, you can get Kevin Durant to stay. If you trade Kyrie for Russell Westbrook, Kevin will.
Because I don't care what you say, that relationship is mendable with Kyrie and Kevin. Yeah. I think it's more of.
All it is a vaccine mandate lifted.
But you have to get KD to stay. You have to fire the head coach that KD asked for. And
that's another thing that irks me about it.
KD has done all of this. KD has done all of this. And you have to fire your general manager that you just put a 4-year extension on and who has turned one of the worst situations into what it is now. Because don't forget, he was hired whenever they had the big 3 of Paul Pierce.
Oh, my God.
Kevin Garnett.
Well, that was I think that was referred to as the big 5. Or
and
something.
Now they're fumbling. And James Harden.
Yes.
KD and Kyrie.
And
that's the thing.
James Harden was wanted
a lot for that Harden trade.
Yeah, well, James Harden was wanted from KD, and then James Harden and Kyrie couldn't get along, and you shipped off James Harden.
Really saw it as I sacrificed to come here. I can't.
James wanted to go and play point guard and chill and have 20 points a game, 10 assists, and let Kyrie and KD do all the scoring. That's what James wanted to do. And
but he said Kyrie's wanted to do half the games. I'm not going to. You think James is actually in that mindset now? Like, especially like the way he's playing with Philly
James?
too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If I was James,
Kinda
I'd be doing
backseat.
everything in my power to get back to what I was because that's a championship team.
Yeah, and he took a pay cut. Took a pay cut with Philly.
Joel and
So-
James, an older,
Squad.
like, or not an older James, but like old James that we know.
Yeah.
Like if he's
Yeah,
if he's getting
That's
25 points a game, that's
That's another discussion in itself, where they pretty much changed the fucking, pretty much the rules of getting fouled, like how he made his
well, a lot of
legacy
players
is-
suffered.
yeah.
Him and
Getting to the line 20 plus times a game. Joel Embiid still does it, but he's
down.
monster.
He's down, bang.
Yeah,
Like, he's
can't
trying to get in
really-
the paint.
Yeah.
So do you think?
Stop that.
Do you guys think that KD would retire?
No.
And I think he's going to go to the Celtics if we're going to put in who we actually think he's going to go.
Which
to.
is weird because
They're
going
gonna
to
trade Jalen.
Do you think he's the way it sounds? He's just ready to
Jason
be in his home. Like he wants to go.
Yeah. They're going to get rid of.
Jason Tatum and Kevin Durant with Malcolm Brogdon and Robert Williams. Oh my God! Who's beating that team?
I'm a Celtics fan, bro.
Who's beating that team?
I don't see it happen like that. That's just a
Dude.
dream.
The Sixers.
That's
I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to get rid of. Yeah, I think they're going to
Honestly,
get rid of Jalen, and I think that's
I
what's
would
going to
love to
happen.
see him on
and
the
that's a
Clippers.
really good trade for
If
the Nets.
KD can go to the
like
Clippers,
excellent trade.
Dude, if we could get.
if he could go to the
Well,
Clippers,
see, we were targeted for Kyrie.
I don't
early,
think-
and I didn't want any.
I
Part
love
of
that.
I didn't
I
want
love
any
that.
part of it just because I was transferring the reason he's not playing to other teams. I wasn't thinking that he's not going to have the mass mandate in LA. But we also got John Wall. I think we're the perfect situation for
I love
for
John
KD.
Wall, but he ain't played in 2 years.
Yeah, but we'll see.
I hope
We
he's
also
great.
got Reggie
We'll get-
Jackson. We've got a great bench.
We'll get into the Clippers a little later.
Yeah,
but
we'll talk.
But see, the Celtics, that's probably
I
the
think-
best package they're going to get.
yes,
yeah,
Hands down.
either
You get
them or
Jaylen
the
Brown.
Suns. The Suns, maybe.
I don't think they're going to get.
already-
They
they
can't give anything.
No, they
They
wanted.
wanted-
They
What
wanted
about Miami? Can Miami do something?
They wanted.
They
They
want
Jimmy
more. They
Butler,
want
but
Jimmy
also,
Butler.
They can't.
That's
They're
what
not
Jimmy-
getting Jimmy Butler.
They
Well,
wanted
Well,
him and
Kevin's
Hampton.
not going to go there. I'm not going there if my second best player is.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
That's the
I'm
thing.
going to play with Jimmy.
I want to play with
Yeah.
Devin. I want to play, but see, Jalen and Jason have been argued like they're pretty.
The
comparable.
Suns were out of it the second that they re-signed Ayton.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the money now.
Yeah.
They got too much money in Booker and Chris Paul.
I'm just thinking of the teams that really could use him.
Use who?
KD.
literally
everyone can
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
saying like
good.
they have the package or at least something.
KD
they
the
goes
can
to
Knicks.
team you're
I've also
married.
heard because the
Lakers,
Knicks can throw
KD
in.
somehow goes to the Lakers, it's over. I
The
don't give a
Lakers,
fuck
they
who's
trade-
on that team.
they do like a
KD
three-way.
and LeBron, that's
They could do a three-way. They could probably get rid of Westbrook and Anthony Davis, and then bring back KD and Kyrie in that situation.
If
Maybe.
it's not getting done
Oh
with
my God.
Maybe.
If
Yeah.
that
I don't know if it
fucking-
happens.
if it's not getting
Lakers-
done with the Celtics, it's not happening.
Lakers
I-
fans don't want to get rid of AD. They're still the AD team.
It-
That's whose team it
You're
is.
getting Kevin Durant.
I trade
I-
him straight
you're
up to
trading
KD
it,
if they
yes.
do it.
I get
And
it, but I think that's the thing. Lakers fans don't want to get rid of Anthony Davis, regardless on the history with him.
Also, you got to think of KD. If he's like this here, what if he goes to
That was
wherever
a
he
Colin
goes
Coward
and he's
proposal.
like, I don't want to be here now.
Yep.
He was like,
very-
he's like
very
the
possible.
most iffy fucking superstar you've ever seen.
Just do
Yeah.
do straight up Anthony Davis for Kevin Durant.
The Nets would ask for first round picks.
Do it.
Both of them actually.
Do it.
I would do it.
Do it. You win a
I would
title.
do it.
I'd do
You win a
it.
title
You
with
win the
LeBron and
title.
KD. Easy.
Even if Westbrook's there, I don't
That's
give a fuck. You win.
that's insane.
That's-
I really.
Maybe
That's
you
another thing.
swap
KD's
Westbrook and
definitely
Kyrie.
not
There's two 30
playing with
point
Westbrook.
a game players
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah. It's easy.
He
I'd do it in
wanted
a
to
heartbeat.
far away from as he could from Westbrook. I don't see that happening
Yeah.
either.
Wes-
They'll get rid
But-
of Westbrook.
He is staying with the Nets, in my opinion, because if he did not accept the Celtics. Apparently, it was
He has
Robert
no
Williams holding that deal up.
No, they wanted Tatum.
Yeah, they want
They
Tatum.
kept
They
They're
said
saying-
crazy.
Tatum's, no,
They
they
kept
said
saying-
Tatum's on. That might be what ended it because they said
Yeah.
Tatum's off the board.
The
but-
Nets want Tatum instead of Brown. They
Yeah.
like switch Brown and Tatum.
well, I thought it was Marcus Williams or Robert Williams, and they wanted Marcus, and they were like, "No, we want the big guy." And they're like, "No."
Alrighty.
And they wanted Marcus Smart.
To wrap
Yes.
up the NBA news.
I hope it fucking happens.
Yeah, I do
really
too.
Jaylen
It'd be
Brown.
It'd be crazy.
Yep.
Every time I see Jaylen Brown dribble, I'm like,
Get him the fuck out of here.
give the ball to someone else.
Yeah.
Marcus
This
Smart
KD shit's
too.
ridiculous.
Love to see him playing with Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
that's gonna be
That'd
super
be
fun. It's gonna be really fun to see them
Yeah.
too.
I
But
think we should probably switch
Yeah,
to the
we got-
NFL now,
we gotta
because
move on to-
probably have just as much there, if not more, that we have to talk about.
yeah,
All right. So excited. All right, moving on from the NBA, a lot of NFL news, NFL talk going on. Breaking news, by the way.
Yep.
We're going to get into that.
Brady's coming back.
The GOAT's coming back.
Yep.
So
It's reported that about an hour ago from Adam Schefter that Brady will be returning, quote unquote, very shortly. So within the next week, I would assume.
Yeah, I saw a report it's as early as tomorrow because he'll be back in camp.
Singer.
No, he probably told Giselle to shut the fuck up. I'm about to go out here and win another one of these things.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. Just arguing at home for a week straight. You said you were done. Babe,
you know
shut
that.
The fuck up.
You know the fucking. Julio. You know the RDC. Like I imagine he talks to his wife the way like that RDC video did LeBron and Kyrie, where LeBron's just chewing Kyrie out and he's just like,
"Yo,
got one." Like if that was me, I would be like stacking them on my dick and shit. Like I would be like
then
really.
She opens up her fucking bank app on her phone, and be like,
"Yeah, Giselle does make." That's the problem. That's the problem. Is Giselle makes more, so she's like, "I can say you got to be home." But no, I'm happy.
She wears the big boy pants in the house.
I'm happy he's back. I'm happy he's coming back. We can touch on it a little bit. I mean,
it's a little odd how many quarterbacks were gone this early
or hurt.
Like something is going on with a lot of quarterbacks right now.
Lingering shit from camp, and they're trying to get over it.
Burrows, out. Drew Lock got hurt.
Let's start out with the news with Kareem Hunt. To get it out of the way, it's not a huge deal, but looks like they're he's really just trying to get an extension. Mm-hmm. That's why he's kind of trying to move on from the Browns. From y'all's perspective, what teams could use him the most, and what teams do you think may end up getting
any team that is already projected to win the Super Bowl that doesn't have a true RB1?
Yeah.
So you have the Bills,
the Eagles.
You have the Bills. He's saying who needs it the most. The Bills need them.
Yeah. I think the Bills,
the Chiefs.
Yep.
The Bills need an identity at running back, not necessarily Kareem Hunt. They just need somebody that they know, like, just write his name down. He's good.
Yes.
I've seen a lot of backfields have 2-3 deep, like with some big names.
Well, all running. That's how it's going. Like it's if you look at it, if you look at the 49ers, if you look at the Patriots, even like they've always been committee back. Like it's not. I mean, Frank Gore was the only time the 49ers weren't a committee back. But ever since then, they've been committee backs. And it seems like anybody they fucking stick back.
I think they really like Elijah Mitchell, too. They really like
him. He'll probably be the number one.
They're probably going to cut Trey Sermon after this weekend.
He just can't stay healthy.
Yeah, so, like, they could use the depth, I guess. But when it comes to teams that are going to...
Holy shit, I didn't even fucking think of that, bro. Imagine if he went to the 49ers.
Yeah. Be nasty.
Okay, so
do you think he gets traded?
They're not really
do I think he gets traded?
Do you think he actually? Because the Browns,
if we're being completely honest, I do probably see him being an Eagle.
The Browns he was going to hold out. The Browns immediately said, "We're not trading you, and we're going to find you every single day." So he's at camp, he's practicing, he's doing his thing.
Yeah, he's doing
I think since he's gone through his stuff, he doesn't have as much leverage. They kind of can pull that,
Well, I think the thing that holds him back now is Nick Chubb. You're not the number one. Nick Chubb is. Like that's what people are going to say.
I don't think anyone's looking at Kareem Hunt going, he's not a number one. I think people are just saying like,
but when you're
Chubb is a top 5.
When it comes to money, and you're in their conversation, I mean, there's been stories of people saying worse shit compared to.
I think
that like they're going to bring anything they can to save themselves money and to make it easier. Because you're going to sit here and say like to Nick or Kareem, like, we like this is Nick Sirianni, like, you're the best you're the best thing under the sun. You're better than Nick Chubb. But when they go there, they're gonna be like, well, who's the number one running back?
That's
on your
where
team?
You'll see those leaks come out where like, they're concerned with like his past and he's got injury.
I don't think his past should be a concern anymore. When you see
leaks coming out about a certain player, that's when you know they're about to get traded. That's a big baseball rule too. Where
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, like you'll see a lot of players get their name drug in the dirt before they get traded.
Yeah, it's so the fan base won't be so upset about losing a good player.
Yeah, it's a soft thing for the Browns. But the Browns are a fucking clown show organization anyway.
What is going on with Miles Sanders?
He's got a hamstring injury. No timetable.
I dropped him on fantasy.
It's fucking ridiculous, man.
I picked up Chase Edmonds.
I love him. I think he's a big home run hitter. I think he can do a lot of things out of the backfield. But when it comes to staying healthy, staying on the field, he's not reliable.
They're also real big on.
He literally was the reason we lost to the
Kenny
Raiders
has
last
been
year.
Gaining traction in practice, from what I've heard.
You take more reps away from him, even though you've come out and said,
Well, Boston Scott, he's getting rushes right now in this game that I'm watching. It's pretty.
My dark horse for him, which I would love to see, would be the Raiders. Josh Jacobs and Josh McDaniels apparently don't see eye to eye. They don't connect well.
I'm gonna go a different R team. I'm gonna go Ravens.
Oh,
Ravens would be weird.
I'm just thinking of what would be.
I like
dope.
Dobbins.
Yeah, but
it's not.
I think they're committed on
Josh
Dobbins.
Jacobs. Do a swap. Figure it out.
Yeah.
That Jacobs situation is confusing. He had 10 touchdowns last year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
He was not a scrub.
Yeah, he's good.
Like he's a really good running back,
Is it
and they were
worth-
just like, we're not
Is
going
it
to
worth
resign
the
him.
extension he would get though, considering all the things that they need in the Raiders? Like they're going to have to pay Chandler Jones. They're going to have to pay like these high.
Max Crosby is going to be
Backload that
shit.
shit. Backload that shit. I'd love to see Kareem with the Raiders. That would be just awesome.
I'm thinking of other teams that may need him.
Bills or Raiders.
Seattle.
Bills or Raiders.
Seattle would need him.
Chris Carson.
Where would you
did it,
rate
so.
Kareem Hunt in running backs? Is he
top 15.
Top
I was gonna say
15,
10 through 15.
Yeah.
10 through 15.
Probably.
So
He's a fucking rushing title holder. Like he's still. I think he could be.
So in
amongst
theory,
the top 10. Yeah.
So in theory, every team except for 10 of them should need him.
I mean, if you want, depending on what he's asking for. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, nobody wants. Like, look at Zeke. He's still.
Do you
top
sign-
Ooh,
ranked
that's a
back in
good.
the fucking
Oh,
league.
Zeke has like
that's a good.
15
That's a
million a
good
year.
conversation we can have right now. We're going to do that. What running
What?
backs are over him?
JT.
All right, well,
Henry.
JT Henry,
And let's just do this.
And
quickly.
not-
let's just spit some
Yeah,
names.
yeah.
out.
JT
Joe
Henry.
McCaffrey.
Chubb.
Eckler,
Chubb,
Saquon.
Eckler.
I don't know if Saquon's over him.
Saquon's easily over him.
I don't know about it.
Saquon's over a lot of the names that were just listed.
Jones,
Dalvin
Aaron
Cook.
Jones.
Dalvin Cook.
You probably put Miles Sanders above him, wouldn't you? Fully healthy.
I want him. I'd rather have
Aaron Jones. Who'd you say? You just said somebody.
He said CMC.
Dalvin Cook,
CMC.
Oh, Cook for sure.
Alvin
Cook.
Kamara.
Kamara for
Kamara.
sure.
Yeah, so if you're not one of these,
Najee
1, 2,
Harris.
Najee.
Yeah, I would take
Najee.
Najee. I would
Mixon?
definitely take
That's
Najee.
so.
Mixon.
that's-
Joe
Mixon.
Mixon over him? Yes.
Honestly, I think JK's better too. I really
But
do
see,
think
even
JK's
even
So then you have
even
questionable
talking
names
like
for
this, he's shown he could be very very productive
as a
in a
two back.
secondary
Mixon
role.
and who?
Yeah.
So if you have a top guy, like bring him in.
Najee, if you didn't get him.
Like who's got money that can like throw at him that can just be.
we have it.
So that's 11.
But we've got 21 million left over.
Realistically, the Eagles
I
probably
think
sign
the
him.
Eagles are going to.
It's very, very
They have
possible.
the. They
I
have
don't
the
want to admit
firepower
it
as
because
well.
I think he would chew with them, and I hate it.
I would
And
love for
they
him.
want to be a
Swap
run-first team.
Sanders, give Sanders to the
They want-
Browns
yeah.
with the pick, and then bring back Kareem Hunt.
It
and
makes
then-
so much sense.
there you
They
go.
want to be a run first team. They made the change to be a pass first team, but they don't want to be a pass first.
They need a left tackle too. The Browns really need a left
He's asking
tackle.
a lot of Jalen.
Dillard is on the. He's on the trade
Yeah,
market.
so
that could
I
be
think
a
it
piece.
works pretty well. I think
That's
I
you
see
all
it
that-
happening.
That's them going all out.
Yeah.
I mean, you all
Yeah.
are really going all out this year.
I think this team is
So-
more talented than 2017.
I do. I agree. They're fucking
Yeah.
loaded.
So-
I hate to admit it.
So I like what you're saying. I don't necessarily think the Miles swap is what's going to do it because Miles is
No,
already
I-
injured.
you would have to
And I
throw
think the
him in there.
real reason that they're willing to let go of Hunt or get rid, like, okay, they will be okay with it in the end, is of how well Dearness Johnson
love Dearness
played
Johnson.
Yeah.
while Nick and Kareem weren't both there. Because, I mean, he averages 5.3 yards a carry. He got 100 attempts and he had 534 yards. But, like, I mean, if we're sitting here looking like Bengals, 25 for 123 and a touchdown. Like,
I think the other big thing here is the Browns shut it down so quick, and they'll probably start to listen to the trade.
they
things.
don't need any more fucking drama. That's why
they're
they shut
so
it down.
packed with everything going on. They're like, right now we are just a run team, and we can't do anything else. We're not losing a running back.
And they
So-
probably did go to him like, I don't know, like where the fuck did this come from? We
Yeah.
have enough shit going on.
Yeah.
We got Bill Cosby playing quarterback, and you're fucking sitting here like what?
Browns are a clown show.
They
They're
are.
a fucking
They.
clown show.
I hate it. Like it's like
They're fucking horrible.
So there's certain things like we all know the Cowboys are going to cowboy. Like something in the Cowboy season is going to cowboy. Like the Browns, they just love being like. How dumb can we be this season?
We'll get more into the Browns, but we also had a lot of other things. So, like Brady's,
shit,
the concern
yeah.
with Brady. Was it ever an actual concern?
No, I think it was more fun to talk about what he could possibly do.
I always
yeah,
thought it was
yeah.
an injury concern.
No, it's just a family matter.
Yeah,
No.
but I feel like
Because that has come on the injury report, even in camp and stuff. Like,
with
what's
how
going on
little
with
was
them, so-
disclosed about what was going on, I feel like there
Well,
was...
no, he disclosed it. He said, at this point in training camp, me and the family are going to be gone for 9 days. And then it came out recently that it said it was...
Do you think this is going to be a precedent set throughout the entire season? Do you think he's just going to start missing
No,
certain
I
things?
think he wanted to get this over with the family. I think when he came out of retirement, it was a discussion with the family. Hey, during the summer, during this time, we want to get this over with. He might have been on a fucking Disney cruise for all we know, and he just wanted to get this over with.
I really don't.
So, like,
And
now this is
it's
really
over
why I'm questioning, because, like, week 5 they play the Falcons. Does Tom Brady really need to practice all week?
No.
He doesn't need to, but he should.
He'll
he'll
Week
be
7
home
is
in
the
the bye week,
Panthers.
too.
Does he need to practice all week?
He's
Like,
going to set that.
is this something that's...
Yeah.
And this is... I think that Brady will be, because
Yeah.
it's just who he is. But, I mean, Giselle makes a lot of money. She got the pants in there. Like, who's to say that, like, hey, like, we're doing this week. Like, I don't give a fuck who you're playing. Like,
They're also professionals. They've been doing this for
Yes.
20 years. I think it's a different. Like you brought him out of retirement.
Yes.
Like he's coming back. He's like, okay, this is my only stipulation. Give me a 9-day. I need
They've
this
lost
little time
the
during
preseason
fucking
games.
training camp
Yeah.
Doesn't
that
matter.
I
Nobody
really
likes
don't
training
need.
camp.
Yeah,
no one likes
it's
it.
walkthroughs and fucking 7-on-7s. Really,
Nobody likes training
I
camp.
know my guys. I've been throwing with Julio.
Is Burrow a
We're
concern?
good.
No. Appendicitis.
I wanted to... Before we...
I have zero concern.
Before we switch
I
off
don't
with
think so.
appendicitis, as long as they got it out of there and the surgery was clean, there's no problem.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking...
But he's missing all of this
That's fine.
training
I don't-
camp and all of that.
I
It
don't
just
care.
is it concern? I don't think so.
The thing that I want
go
to, I
back
just
to
kind of
Brady.
want to circle back to the Bucs, because they have had so much trouble with their offensive line. Tristan Wirfs is hurt. They just lost Aaron Stinney. That's a season-ending injury. Like
They lose a guy to free agency that the Chiefs. Or no, the Bengals did.
yeah,
Ali
got-
Marpet.
yeah, Bengals snatched up every good
Like so,
offensive lineman. On,
and that's another reason I'm not as worried
Yeah,
about Burrow.
same.
You ain't touching this down here. I
think-
go.
I'm not saying it's going to be a big problem. It's Brady. He's played with worse offensive lines, but I think for right now we should just kind of maybe keep an eye on the health of the offensive line, especially Tristan Wirfs, because he's one of the best linemen in the league.
Yeah.
I still
Then-
think they're a top 10, well, easy top 10, probably
yeah.
top 5 team in the league.
Yeah, and then before we get to the actual the quarterback that could actually have some concerns, Drew Lock is on he had COVID, I believe, is why he's missing.
Oh, really?
I was wondering why he wasn't playing, and that's the only reason I even know what happened to him, because I have not heard anything about Drew Lock. But
Ooh, I got something. I got another topic. You
But
keep going.
that's- yeah.
I got to pull it up.
Seattle's a mess with or without Drew Lock, so I don't think it's too big of a deal. But then we have Stafford. Stafford's elbow is hurt. Is that of any concern?
When was the last time he threw? Is he throwing right now?
Yeah, he's throwing in camp. It's just not that.
Is he on a pitch count?
Yeah, he's not throwing as much as necessary
So probably.
to get
So
in the rhythm.
I want to
guess.
bring this up because our little mean boy,
Mean.
Mean.
We ain't no.
he's been a meme lately, fucking his mom's friends and shit. But
Yeah.
Zach Wilson's been hurt,
Yeah.
and a winner. We're going to talk about our winners and losers of the preseason, but
Yeah.
a winner that I have is probably the worst fucking quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl. Joe Flacco's been balling, apparently.
Yeah.
Did Zach Wilson lose his spot because he got hurt?
Absolutely not.
No.
I asked you that. Well, I think it was
Yeah.
a topic last night.
Yeah.
How long? If Joe goes out week 1,
We're not doing this reverse fucking Dak Prescott shit. It's not happening.
Sure, they played. Did they play
But
Rams this
think of it,
No,
like,
they
like
played the Eagles.
if this is
They played
Doesn't
y'all?
matter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
think of it.
Yeah,
I know
there's
it's
no
injury,
time
and
right
I know it's injury, and I know that Zach Wilson isn't or wasn't necessarily the best. But like, if we think about it, like, think of how many times that somebody's been injured and it's completely changed the way a franchise has looked. And I'm not saying Joe Flacco's going to come in and win a fucking Super
I mean,
Bowl.
just
Yeah.
Herbert.
But
That's the
basically-
thing. If
Herbert, they almost killed Tyrod Taylor. He almost fucking died.
I'm going to bring up Tyrod Taylor later. I'm glad.
They-
yeah,
He
Well,
fucking
we're gonna bring up
almost
the
died.
Jets later. So if you wanna-
I'm gonna try and hurry, but he almost fucking died.
Yeah.
Drew Brees almost was not able to play football.
Mm-hmm.
That's how bad his shoulder injury was, and it completely changed. I'm not saying that they're gonna that
Joe
Flacco's that, but
I don't know about it. I mean, if he does,
could he win the starting job?
I mean,
No.
Because Mike White's also been balling. Like they got a quarterback fucking race going on.
They really don't.
You think Zach Wilson's the clear cut starter?
Yes,
they
you
try to
invested
take on him.
Sure,
That's their
Yeah,
guy.
That's enough.
if you invest in someone, look at Trey Lance.
Look what they did to Sam. Sam.
Who's considered a bust, hands down. Like,
Yeah, but he was also his fucking argument. He was also a high draft pick.
Right,
you invested.
So
in
here's
him.
the thing.
different.
Here's the thing.
is
With,
Joe Flacco gonna fucking change
And
the franchise?
if Joe-
make your fans happy
Yeah.
seeing him?
Hey, if
If
I go from winning 4 games with Zach to 7 with Joe, and I
No.
possibly beat the Patriots or
That's-
Bills, I'm happy with it.
Not worth it. No, I promise
really
you.
not worth
If
it.
Flacco wins you a Super Bowl, it's worth it. If he wins you,
Which is not happening.
yeah, if he wins you 2 more games, it's not worth it. You want to invest in the younger guy.
yeah.
I agree with it.
You'll
I
piss
just
off your entire fan
Yes.
base doing that.
The-
like,
Yeah, it's not worth it.
The point we didn't
Jets
key in
don't
on with
have
this
a fan
situation
base.
is that the injury that Zach Wilson suffered was a non-contact injury.
Yes,
Which is
that's
scary.
concerning.
Yeah, that's concerning to me. The thing is that
he got
was,
lucky.
It
Yeah.
wasn't
He got
worse,
very lucky.
and that's what's good about it. He's going to miss 4 weeks, but I don't think he loses his job.
He's gonna be fine.
See, there
He's
even this is even
that
talking
guy.
about the. This is even talking.
He didn't throw a
about
fucking
the,
pick in that
the
game.
Chargers.
He's
and,
that guy. He's gonna be fine.
He's not that.
He's
guy.
not that guy.
He's their guy, and he could. Yeah,
He's not that guy, but
He's not that guy.
he's going to be playing.
You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy.
He's gonna be fine.
He
I'm truly
he might
gonna
have
be
a
fine.
dog in him, but it's
Yeah.
like a
like a chihuahua.
a chihuahua
Yeah.
that like
Well, no,
barks
I mean-
a lot
I mean
and
a
shits
fuck,
everywhere. Like
Maybe a dachshund.
we're also talking about the Jets. Like, he's not going to be on a championship contender where they're
Yeah.
like, "Damn, are you losing your future?"
Yes.
so, you think it's a matter of the team over? Because like if this is so, say this is the Ravens and Lamar's not there and they're having the same quarterback situation. Do you think we're
I
looking
don't
at it
give a
different?
fuck if the dude comes out and wins 6 in a row and he's leading the
So
league in
you-
passing. When Lamar's healthy, he's coming back.
Well, no, I'm not
That's how I
talking
feel.
about Lamar.
That's how I
his
feel.
fucking team.
I'm
yo.
saying I'm not saying Lamar.
Yeah,
I'm saying
Zach
like
Wilson's
Zach
not
Wilson.
Lamar.
I'm just saying take their quarterbacks and put them in a situation where they can win now.
49ers.
Do you think 49ers? Do you think you
They
win
got
more
Jimmy
games?
G.
Do you think
Yeah, that's
you think you
Trey
win
Lance.
more games with Flacco or do you win more games with Wilson?
Who cares?
That's
Learn
the
more
Zach.
about your
Zach.
team with what's going on.
You win more with
but
Zach.
You learn more about what you have going forward with Zach.
Yeah,
'Cause you're-
that's
you're
the point.
tied
You want to
him.
see that.
Yes.
You don't want to see if Joe
Your
Flacco's
management's
got a
tied to
fucking
him.
year
Literally
left.
everything
Yeah.
about your
You
team
want
is
to
tied
see
to
if
him.
Zach
Yeah.
Wilson's gonna
It's-
be
I'm
your
just playing
guy.
devil's advocate. I think
Yeah, I think it's
fun.
not
Joe
even
Flacco's
close.
not going to be playing
Quit trying to fucking.
unless he gets hurt again on another like knee injury or some shoulder or some shit, like something dumb. Like if something stupid happens
Well,
to
he's
him
just
again, then
bad.
Joe will come in. But
He got the dog.
That's what happens if Zach gets hurt. You're like, dude, we got Flacco.
All right.
Fuck.
Yeah.
All we have
Stafford.
is Flacco.
So Stafford, is anyone concerned about Stafford?
No.
I actually am, and I've tried to
Fair.
figure that out
Yeah, I
last
know.
time.
Yeah,
Just what type of injury it is, and he's a power thrower. He's got
Yes.
a big fucking arm. Where that injury is, that's a pitcher type injury,
Mm-hmm.
Tommy John type shit.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like,
I am not worried as much because Cam Akers is back. And
Okay, so
they're going to be able to run the ball a lot better than they were last year. That is going to take some pressure off.
are you
not
happy
wrong.
saying we're not going to be able to
Jonathan
distribute?
Taylor, Akers. He's not.
I'm not saying he's that, and I'm not saying he's going to rush them to a Super Bowl, but I'm saying that is going to help
Do you hear what
relieve
you're saying,
some
though?
issue.
The defending champ, we just got a new weapon. We're not going to be able to get to our weapons as much.
No.
At least we got Cam Akers
Yeah.
coming back.
Cam Akers is fucking.
That is a big deal. Your star,
Yeah.
your franchise quarterback now
Yeah,
is...
I get that, and I understand. I understand
They're
everything
in-
you're saying. I just think that they're going to run the ball a little bit more, which will alleviate some of the pressure that he has to throw. A lot of the passes are going to. I mean, it's still going to be quick one out, like quick outs ins with fucking Cooper Kupp. I mean, Allen Robinson's going to take a majority of the deep balls. That's the thing.
I think he's going to be used exactly like Odell was,
Yeah,
which is great. He did very well.
I'm worried about
They
it,
got
but
Dalvin
I think they'll be
Robinson.
fine.
He's
He's
very
insane.
slept on. I
Matt-
think he's very slept on.
That defense got better.
My biggest thing is I'm only not concerned because I think that if it was worse, it would be talked about
That's what we
as
talked-
if
that's
it
what
was
we said.
worse.
Yeah, they would. Or, I mean, you could try to put a lid on it and try to hide it, which
Yeah.
is going to be very hard.
But he's
if he
even
comes out
saying-
the first few weeks and gets hurt,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Damn, it's my elbow," and then
4 days ago,
that's-
he said it
that's
feels
shady.
good. Whether
Yeah, I think he's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just concerning where and what it is.
Super Bowl hangover, maybe.
Yeah, more than how bad it actually is.
Yeah.
I think he'll be back. He'll be playing just fine. We're going to see him first game throwing bombs, throwing touchdowns.
It'll be a fucking 55-50 game.
And everybody's going to be like, oh, yeah, that elbow's just fine.
And I just hope we don't see on the sideline him doing this shit. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, fuck. Because he's getting up there a little bit in age.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it shouldn't be concerning. But they've done a good job surrounding him. Sean McVay knows what the fuck he's doing. If he has any concern,
that's my thing. Is like
you all are fucking loaded. Put him on a little pitch count through camp. I mean, just watch your guy. That's probably the most concerning I am. I mean, unless Drew Lock's, he's under the weather. I like Drew Lock.
I do too. I just think he's not good.
Yeah, he's not good. Not good. I like him,
dude.
But
I guess something else we can move on to after this.
I don't think he's terrible.
Yeah, no.
Drew Lock, I don't like. He's talked about like he's like the worst quarterback in the league.
No,
I don't think he's that bad.
He's not that bad.
I just think he's
up and down's kind of like Sam Darnold.
Yes,
I mean, he's kind of.
I just don't think he's.
At best, he's Daniel Jones. At worst, he's.
At best, he's Daniel Jones? That's terrible.
Nathan Peterman.
We're going to bring up Daniel Jones, too. The Giants in general. The Giants.
But there was the biggest news was Deshaun Watson looks like it's settled. 11 games.
Yeah, it's pathetic.
All the other stuff is there, but 11 games.
Which means he'll be back week 13 because they have a bye week 12.
Do you want to get into like the depths of what this means for the NFL?
More, I just want to think about what it does for the Browns. To be fair,
the Browns are terrible. They're a terrible organization. They completely fucked the situation up, and I hope they lose everything from it.
They were trying to avoid story.
I really do.
Top 5 quarters.
Was week 11, it was like them against Brady, which would have been a fucking big story.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's coming back against his former team. I don't think he
fucking
could've,
hate him.
Like, why not give him the whole year?
I hate fucking.
I just don't. I don't understand.
I think
what they were thinking.
But all right,
well,
so
this
11
is the
games.
NFL going back into it and saying, "Okay, we'll give you 11."
We got it mediated, and they
now.
an agreement.
Now is the contract worth it? Assuming that he is as good and not as bad as he has been in preseason. If he's
played in 2 years,
I
that's
know.
another thing. I don't know why people were bringing up that he's been so bad. He hasn't played.
But he's about to go back into another stretch of not playing.
Yeah.
And then he's going to have to come in and play on a team who could possibly be vying for a playoff
They
spot.
need to win at least of their first 6 games of that 11-game stretch for them to even
Yeah, they're
approach
going to be
the
vying
playoffs.
for anything with Jacoby. I mean,
Their schedule-
Jacoby Brissett's nice, but
This team's good. This team
are they
can't
going to go
win.
out and look at Jimmy G?
Their fucking schedule is ridiculous.
I think if it was an indefinite or if it was more, because I don't even think you want Jimmy G for a year. I think if you want Jimmy G, he's going to be there for the long haul.
You think he's a starter?
I think
like
so.
that?
Very
Jimmy
much.
G's a starter in this league.
Yeah.
Why are more people jumping on and trade for him? Because a lot of people, he's
The
better than a lot of starters.
He's got to get cut by the 10th.
The 40.
yeah,
he's
do that.
he's
Wrong,
so
honestly.
close to getting cut, and the
Yeah.
49ers are like other teams are probably just sitting there going, "Do we want to trade and take in that contract, or do we want to?"
You can have a real decent pitch to
Yeah.
Jimmy to be able to bring him in. And the thing is that the team that offers him the most money is going to get him.
Yeah.
And the team that's going to offer him the most money is probably going to end up being Seattle. They probably have the most cap space of the teams that
I
really
don't know.
need a quarterback.
I don't know if Seattle is going to go for it.
Maybe he goes to the fucking Giants.
Because all right,
Like,
Pete
so
Carroll
that.
likes Drew Lock.
Another-
He really likes Drew Lock for some reason.
Yeah.
That's
But
his
another-
dementia and CTE or
Another-
that kind of, I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah. The perspective of like the Seahawks though is like, all right, start Drew Lock, and you can either just be horrible, like as bad as everyone thinks, and then you have that top pick of these like generational talents in the draft,
Tank for Stroud.
or you have Drew Lock and he plays out of his damn mind, and now you have your franchise quarterback already. I think that you have
Their
that
offensive line sucks.
Yeah, I think you have that win-win.
No.
Oh.
They really stepped it up in the offseason. They picked up some pretty good players.
But if you take Jimmy
No one
G,
is
Charles
looking at
Paul-
Drew
you're
Lock
probably
as
a
franchise
middling team.
quarterback. No one is looking at him as a franchise.
No.
quarterback.
Yeah, nobody is.
but
I don't care
Does
how good he plays, man.
I just can't stand the Browns, man. Like,
does it change anything for them though?
fucking ridiculous.
And all right, is the contract and everything that they give up, is it now worth it?
He's
Well,
only
they're
doing
not paying
$1 million
anything for
year
this.
anyway.
They're not
I know,
paying.
but
He's only doing $1 million.
he's only gone 11 games. Where
I don't think we're going to know until he actually plays. In
Oh, I
the
think
games
they
that
feel
matter.
like they
I think,
won.
yeah,
For sure.
I would. I think that everything that they've done now is now worth it. If he is close to as good as he was,
So he can't
Well,
play.
worth
can he
it
play?
means to me, worth it means Super Bowl because the
not this year,
quarterbacks-
but next
the
year
quarterbacks
they should
that
be in the Super
have
Bowl
those-
talks.
Well, the quarterbacks that are getting paid this money,
Yeah,
they have won recently.
yeah.
I don't
Or
get
they're in
why,
the championship
why aren't they
games and
playing
stuff.
him in the second game? And that is what pisses me off the most. It's like, while this was still going on, all the exposure he got in that first preseason game, and now you're like, oh, we're not going to play him in the second one just because, like, why?
Yeah.
They don't know how to make decisions.
Get him more exposure, get him more reps that he hasn't been out. Like,
So it was an 11 game?
11 games.
11 games.
Yeah, he'll be back against Houston.
He comes back against the Texans.
That doesn't make any sense. So why isn't he going to play week 12?
They have a bye.
Bye weeks.
No, they don't. They play the Bucks week 12. Their bye
No.
week is week 9.
Yeah, that doesn't
Oh,
count.
dude!
He comes back
Dude!
against the
Yeah,
man.
he comes back against the Texans.
That
I'm
don't
assuming
count
he-
because they don't
I'm
play a
ass-
game. They don't play
I'm
a
assuming he
game.
plays, and I'm assuming they kick the shit out of the Texans there.
Oh,
I keep
yeah.
thinking of the memes, like the Vince McMahon, come out, you rapist!
So, I
Get
mean,
fucking injured.
let's just look at the
I really
end
hope
of
they
their...
lose every game of that 11-game
You think
stretch.
Jacoby
So-
Brissett keeps them in the conference?
That's
Jacoby's.
I
though.
don't think so. Like,
I don't either.
I put them really, really low.
So,
But now you have to think about the Browns have to look at it like if they can be in playoff contentions by the time he gets back.
They have an
He-
easy schedule when he comes
should-
back.
Yeah, they have an easy
They have to
schedule.
play the Bengals and the Ravens week 14 and 15, but after that it's Saints, Commanders, and Steelers.
Because he didn't
And
get
Jags.
enough breaks with, the fucking... God, I hate it. The fact that you got a settlement's abhorrent. Like, it's abhorrent.
where were you leading? Where were you going?
Oh,
I do want
if
to
they're a
make it
playoff
a
team-
note that settlement is not an admission of
Yeah,
guilt.
I don't think so either. If they
I
are a
don't-
playoff team, by the time he gets back, they have to be looking at it like he should take them to the Super Bowl and win it.
Yeah.
He better. That's a lot of pressure.
They were a quarterback.
That's crazy.
That is what that
Yes.
contract means.
And
you
that's
need
what I'm
to be
saying.
taking us to the playoffs. You need to be getting to a championship game, being paid fucking
So-
He's
$40+
already
million a year.
before he
Unbelievable.
missed all that time. He was top 3 quarterback.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, production wise,
Yes.
and like
I don't want to
I-
shit on what he's done on the field, but to me, it's just like it's a bad precedent to set for the guy that you give the fully guaranteed contract to. Like, this is the first guy you give it to. It's just a dumb fuck situation.
Yeah, I don't agree with
They were just
how
looking
the
at his
situation. Yes, but you
But the
have to look at the
implications for the
talent.
team, if they are not at least 6 games, if they have not won at least 6 games going into him playing, I don't see how they do it.
I don't either.
I mean, I think 6 games is doable.
I don't know. I think
With
think
Jacoby
that-
Brissett at the helm, I don't know.
They
I
could
think
beat the
the Chiefs
Panthers.
sit
They could
there.
beat the Jets. They could beat the Steelers, the Falcons. That's 4, and that's their first 4 games.
If Jacoby's going 4-0, all right. So we're talking. You want to bring up Joe Flacco? If they're,
Flacco wins that game. Flacco wins that game.
but I'm just saying
And they're losing to the
If
Bengals.
Jacoby starts 4-0,
If Jacoby is
They're
like
losing to the
4-0, do you like?
I would
oh,
assume
I don't know.
Jacoby's viewed as better than Joe Flacco.
Baker Mayfield
Yeah.
has a
I mean,
crazy...
that's the difference between the Jacoby situation and this situation is like we haven't seen anything from Zach Wilson that shows like he is head and shoulders better
Yeah.
than
Cleveland actually has a
Flacco.
roster too. They actually
Like
have
Cleveland has a
team.
roster, and Deshaun has shown that he is way better than Jacoby.
I think the
Yeah,
roster
I get it.
around Zach is so much better than last year, though. It really is. With how deep they are.
They can very well
the
win.
receivers are good. They've got a pretty good running back.
They
room.
might win 6 games.
Brees
total.
They
Hall?
really might. And
Brees
then
Hall?
he could put them into playoff contentions.
That's gonna be hard because
It'll be crazy, but
Flacco can?
no, we're talking about Watson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But-
when Watson comes back.
yeah.
I think the GM's sitting back and they're like, we won.
Yes,
Because, I mean, the shadiest part of all this, you put that $1 million because you full on
You
fucking
knew.
assumed he was going to get suspended.
yes.
That is the shadiest shit I've ever
Yeah.
seen.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
got 11 games.
I'm going to
Yeah.
stop talking
We
about
arbitrated and got 11 games.
what it means.
Like, how the
why they did it.
I think that.
How they did it.
win-win for everybody.
I think
Except
that-
his victims. Let's get that
Yeah,
straight.
yeah, yeah.
We're not.
Yeah.
We are not defending.
we're not
him.
here
He's
to.
fucking done.
We're not here to
Whatsoever.
talk about the case at all.
Yeah.
we just
We're
want to
talking from
reflect
the
on it because that was
perspective of
even
the
when you
team.
said it when you were talking about like a settlement. I was like, a settlement is not an admission of guilt. We
No, I'm
like
saying
let's
a
just leave it
settlement
at
for
the
the
level
league.
of what it is.
Yeah.
This
Like,
was a settlement. They both came to agreement we should do 11 games because they wanted 12. The NFL wanted 12
well, NFL wanted it indefinite.
yes.
at first, but now they're to
He
the
said
point
he
where
would
like,
accept 8.
if we
They
don't want it to go on
indefinite, they came back
arbitration,
with
if we don't
11.
want this to be completely drawn out and go through
Yeah.
courts and shit, then we have to come to an agreement.
I think they argued like he missed all last year. They could not
Yes.
play him
Bullshit.
under that
It's
the
bullshit
skeptical shit.
Yeah.
Nope.
I
He sat
yeah.
out.
We all. I think we all
If he went on the
agree.
exempt list, this would not have even been a question because then you could. That's the other argument because he,
Yeah.
was on the.
He was getting
list.
paid all last year.
Yeah. I think we all agree on the situation, but
Yeah.
I wanted to touch more on
the football side.
the
is
football
like,
side of it.
For sure. I think that the Browns aren't like because going into our predictions,
Yeah, we haven't won in 3
we
games.
we had a concern of what we thought the quarterback situation was going to look like at the time.
Yes.
Obviously, I think it makes it a better situation for their outlook of the season because he's just so much better than what they have in the quarterback room.
Yes.
But to me, I think that with the amount of the cloud hanging over the franchise really makes it hard to get through all
That's
that.
why I think.
Kevin Stefanski
Do you
can
play
pro-
him as soon as he comes back off?
Yes.
I think you have to. I think that's the thing. He's going to come back if he plays rusty and they lose that Texans team. Then
Please lose to the fucking Texans.
and then they turn around and what they
That
play the
would be
Bengals
awesome.
and then the Ravens. That's 2 more losses,
We clearly
more than
have a side
likely.
of what we want to happen.
But like
that's what I want to happen.
if he comes in, he loses those first 3 games. Even if Jacoby put him right at the playoff contentions, he could take them out right then, and everything is
I don't
fucked
think
up
he's
for
You're
them.
going to have a lot of woke Browns fans like, damn, we used to have this guy giving us a bad look. We had Jacoby, you're doing all right. Like,
Yeah.
let's fucking ride with him.
They'll turn on him quick, and
They
they're
will turn on him
guaranteed. See, the thing is,
And
that
he's not playing. He's not seeing live NFL action.
they're past
Yeah.
the point where, like,
All that
if he
time.
has a situation come up again, they lose all that money. They don't have the cap space anymore because of his contract.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to get out of that. They're stuck with this quarterback at their home.
So Cleveland opens up as over under 9.5. That's more
That
than
is
the
fucking
ridiculous.
Is that
ridiculous.
with Deshaun?
That's
that's ridiculous.
just
Is
that's
that- what was
factoring
that?
in everything.
Oh, okay.
That's like top teams in the NFL.
It's 9.5 wins.
There's a couple of teams that are like 11 plus, but there's not many that are that high.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
But
9 wins though, I
Yeah.
can see it. If Deshaun's
Kinda
playing
crazy.
well,
Yeah.
and what if he does win those games when he comes back, like every game? I don't know what the end of their schedule looks like, but here, let's look.
yeah, I don't think that
the same as the Eagles.
Yeah, I think that's really bad.
You know what's crazy?
Same as the Ravens.
I just kind of want to bring this up. So,
yeah.
is he allowed to get massages anymore?
No, this Browns already came out and said that we are going to oversee legally anything. Like they're not going to do what the Texans did.
Interesting topic. I heard AJ Hawk, whenever he was in the league, he would have teammates where they did not feel like they were ready to play until they got their body worked on. Like top to bottom, they needed to get worked on by a masseuse or some like.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's not.
I know, but
was
Deshaun in that category? Like, damn, I gotta finish too to feel like at the top of my game. And now he's like, what if that was his? Like,
he doesn't get that. He
secret
doesn't
sauce,
get that.
secret juice.
He doesn't get that liberty
stuff.
of being able to do that anymore because of this. Now everything has. I don't even think it should be sanctioned through the Browns. I think the NFL should handle it.
Yeah.
If
you want to be as hands on as possible.
Like
But that's
we're not
That's the thing with
because the Texans allowed this shit to
the
happen.
CBA. They negotiated this where like they want the NFL to be as hands off as possible. They want
You can't be. You cannot be in this situation anymore.
I get where
He
you're
doesn't.
coming.
He
I
doesn't
understand where you're
get.
coming from, but that's what the CBA wants. That's
doesn't
why
get the benefit of
they
the
want
doubt
to strip away
anymore.
power from the NFL so that they don't have this situation where like, well, we have to negotiate how many games we're going to get. We have to work our way through these suspensions on our own, and we're still getting fucked by Goodell. They came to a settlement because Goodell didn't want to look like the CBA had nothing to do with the situation.
Well,
He was hands off. He gave someone else the power. He delegated and was like, "Yeah, you figure it out. I don't want to be in charge of another Ray Rice situation." That's what this is.
The way it sounded though, he's like, we're not doing that. That suspension, we're going to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever it came out, that they're going to.
But it's not. It's the problem. It's not that they could have got the suspension they wanted. The problem is this has never happened in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
They've never had to equate for this. But like, there's a certain point of where it's just fucking egregious. Like it's just too much. Like I don't want to be the one. I'm not here to argue whether he was innocent or guilty. I know what I think. I know what everybody at this table thinks. I know what most people think. I'm not here to argue whether he's innocent or guilty. I'm here to argue how this affects the Browns and how this affects the NFL. That's really the only 2 points that I'm looking at it.
His contract situation really sets up
Other
future
quarterbacks.
contracts. For
It's
like
good.
a
I
bad-
love the quarterback situation. I love
You got Joe Burrow in a year, and then you've got Lamar before the end of the preseason, which he's
Herbert.
They'll pay him early too.
Allen's going to get reworked. Mahomes will probably get reworked.
I think that they're set for a while.
Mahomes
Just because they're
is
at
just
the
because
top.
they're so.
You
they're,
may see someone like I think this fucks up the lower tier quarterbacks like Jalen Hurts, Tua, where they're also coming up for a contract. They're not going to get guaranteed.
For like 35-ish, 38 for Tua, which still sounds like a lot, but we'll see.
That is a lot.
What do you do with?
But that's the quarterback market.
Working in Matt Ryan or Matt Stafford whenever they get their contracts. Yeah. It's going to be weird. Like older quarterbacks that are their contracts are going to be due.
Stafford did.
This fucks up. Like I don't think that the Browns know what they're fucking doing. And they have good management. Like Andrew Berry is good. Like he
is never going to hear the end of this.
Every
game he plays from here.
The only thing that I could possibly think for the Browns is they either. I mean, they clearly structured the contract to where he would only be getting paid $1 million this year, so they knew he wasn't going to. He wasn't really going to be there this year. But I think they probably believed him. I think they probably sat down with them. They did their due diligence. Whether their due diligence is as good as other teams, but I think they were probably
there is plausible deniability there.
I think more than that. I think they just go. Winning makes people forget.
We have a top.
We win a Super Bowl,
in this league.
and it's the first Super Bowl we've ever won. Yeah, nobody's.
People forget that quick.
Yeah,
they value talent.
I don't think the rest of the league will.
No,
I don't think division rivals will.
They don't care, but
but
if
you're
a GM in your organization,
well, yeah, because that means they went through the division rivals.
Yeah.
You know what pisses me off about what happened over the last week though is what's his name, Jimmy Haslam, the owner. He compared Kareem Hunt's situation to Deshaun Watson's.
Very different.
No.
Did he really?
What in the fuck are you talking about?
No,
he said we gave Kareem Hunt a second chance. Why can't Deshaun Watson get a second chance? I believe a second chance is okay.
Yeah.
Okay, give a second chance for one situation.
Yeah, that's another. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Give them second chances.
I would rather be hit than sexually assaulted.
Had 25 chances. This motherfucker had 60
That's fucked up, but I would rather be hit than sexually assaulted.
Yeah. We would be squaring up in the hallways if I saw you in that building. Like, yeah, you fucking compared me to
25 cases.
Awful.
25 cases. That's not a second chance. You have gone beyond what is considered a fucking second chance.
Yeah. So
I hope Jacoby goes 11-0.
I do too.
And
I like Jacoby.
Yeah,
we didn't even do our preseason winners and losers.
That's next.
We're gonna.
That's next.
Yeah, calm the fuck down.
We're
getting there.
Yeah, we're gonna do that now.
Okay.
All right. Moving on to winners and losers of the preseason. All right, moving on from Bill Cosby to the preseason winners and losers. We're going to talk about some news in the preseason and what we think is going to happen in the NFL. All right, we're going to move on to you, Jacob.
No, let's go with Brennan first.
Yeah. Oh, Brennan's got it?
Yeah, I'm going to go first.
His
okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I think the one that we all agree with here, Malik Willis. He's my first winner. I think that a lot of people thought he could go as early as the second pick in the draft.
Yeah.
And him falling as far as he did, a lot of people...
Third round.
To the third round. A lot of people had a lot of questions. He went to Tennessee. You have people, or you had the starting quarterback saying he's not going to mentor him. It was kind of a weird situation, and I think a lot of people were counting him out quick. I hate the way he throws
a dog out.
I hate the look of it. I think it's such an ugly throw. But it's great. He's doing great, and I love it for him. I hope that he takes that starting position.
He's really mobile, and like we said, he's not got somebody in front of him that's been there like a top 10 quarterback. Yeah. So it's very in reach. I like Ryan Tannehill a lot, but he hasn't shown too much. Number one seed's pretty good. You have Derrick Henry behind you. So
the other thing that I liked about him is just that first game that he played. He did not look to throw the ball. When he got rushed, he was ready to go.
You're getting criticized by the quarterback, or not the quarterback, but the coach for that specific thing.
Yeah, but the second game, I did see him scramble and pick his head up, look for that pass, and I was like, that is a gigantic improvement.
Is that an indictment of the receivers though? That they're not getting open downfield whenever
it might be, but at the same time, just doing that at all is such a big growth, and to see that in one game, I already love.
Yeah,
he's got to be one of the biggest winners.
Receiving core is that great.
No,
beyond
a lot of people think that Treylon Burks is just going to step in and be AJ.
Yeah,
and I'm like, it's not happening.
It's not like that.
My next winner is Jalen Hurts.
Love
I think that
as much as I hate the Eagles.
Yeah, I get it. I think
a lot of clips of AJ Brown, him just on
one
connection.
A lot for them to not run the ball, just let him throw every single play, and him not miss one showed that he was I'm that guy.
He's being who they want Devontae to be.
Yes.
And Devontae wasn't that guy. He's not the big body receiver that they need. And now AJ's coming in.
The improvements where they
role.
needed Jalen to step up, where he's making accurate 20-plus yard throws, especially in that first game. He's not playing in the second game, but in that first game, he was on target.
Yeah.
And he was making the plays where he was taking what they were giving him. Wasn't a lot of big shots that we'll see with AJ Brown on the field, but whenever the team's focusing on your number one guy, that's where you have to get on from your first read, and that's been his issue. Like, he bails out of the pocket quite early. Because he feels pressure really early in the down, but he's gotten better at just staying in the pocket and trusting his guys and picking the right read and moving on from his first target. Jalen Hurts is going to improve. He's going to be a pretty good player this year, I think.
Yeah. And then my last winner is Sam Howell.
Yeah.
This was a quarterback situation that it looked like they settled it with Wentz, and it looked like they were giving Wentz the next chance, but I honestly think this guy could take that job.
Another guy who was projected number one.
Very, very high. Yes.
North Carolina.
Moved around. North Carolina. Yep.
Yes. Yeah, he's not like balling out of his mind, but he's playing good. Very good.
He's not making dumb decisions.
Yeah, and that's really all that he needs to do right now. And I think that he could maybe be talked about of maybe getting a starting position at some point if this team starts to struggle.
Yeah.
And that's not what anyone was talking about before preseason for him.
I think the Commanders have a lot to be happy about this season.
Yeah, I do too. No?
I'll get into that with my losers.
And then my two losers for preseason is Deshaun Watson looks bad playing football. Yeah. And that is the one thing he really didn't need to do.
Yeah.
He was supposed to come in and be back to being the top 5 best quarterback in the league, and he was not in his first preseason.
Been excited though, other than Browns fans? I mean, really?
No, but
if he came out,
he definitely needed. He needed to
show what. I mean, he needed to be better than he was his first game,
and
he needed to be what he was.
Yeah,
and he wasn't. That's just
And then my last, and this is a team for the losers, is the Jets. Yeah. Injuries and injuries and injuries. This was my team. I'm rooting for them big still, but if they have any more injuries than they already do, their season, their first hopeful season is already starting to dwindle away.
Is like not being one of the top 5 worst teams in the NFL.
Yes, and but that's a big step up for them.
They're fun to root for though. They have players that are
they got Sauce Gardner, man.
Yeah, man.
Do you think Zach's getting some sloppy toppy while in the bed from his mom's friend at book club?
If y'all think
sit on the couch, you think he's getting
That's a good part of your rehab.
I think so.
He's fucking amazing.
What happened to him? A non-contact injury?
Meniscus tear.
Yeah. In the first preseason game against
looked a lot worse than it was. Which is
when you have Jordan Davis running after you, I mean, it's pretty scary stuff. So I understand.
But that's my winners and losers. Jacob, you want to go with yours?
I'll go next. So I'm on board with you about Malik Willis. I think he really showed out in his first game.
Yeah. People were thinking that he might play now versus
the second game. He did what he still. There were still criticisms of what he was doing.
Yeah.
He was getting the ball out kind of late, which that's anticipation. That's timing with your route, with the receivers and stuff. He's going to get more time in practice to, improve in those areas. So what I want to move on to talking about the Commanders, Brian Robinson. He is taking over the starting position at running back. And he looks like he did at Alabama.
Thank you. That's why I'm on the complete opposite side.
What the fuck happened to Gibson?
He's a fumble hazard.
Yes.
He doesn't protect the ball nearly as well. And Brian Robinson is a stud. And he's a 5-year player at Alabama.
And I keep thinking of memes, again, like people who were in those the franchise leagues who kept Gibson, and now they're sitting back there just
I had him in our league, our podcast league. I had Gibson in our league, and I dropped him just because he's he's not.
Fuck, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Probably had to add that to last call.
That's another.
We got to talk about our fantasy teams.
To get back to the Eagles, though, because you had Jalen Hurts, I had Jordan Davis and N'Kobe Dean. Looked fantastic in their first games.
You all
Jordan Davis, dude.
Jordan Davis
was
so questionable, though. The surgery thing is why he fell so late.
Yeah.
And I literally just wanted any other team to get him.
Yeah, and then we got him. But on Rich Eisen's podcast, I can't remember who it was, but I think Rich Eisen himself even said he's pretty high on Jordan Davis as a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. And I was like, I don't know if that's necessarily a horrible take because he is so dominant, but he's not playing in the second preseason game, so we really aren't going to see him very much. But N'Kobe Dean, filling holes, really changing run. He's transforming the run defense for the Eagles, and he's making plays. He's going to be the starter going into the next preseason game in Week 3.
That's big.
My next winner, not for the reason y'all think, it's a team, the Jaguars. They look so fucking bad. They're going to get they're going to get another top 5 pick, and they're going to get a quarterback. Not a quarterback. No, they're probably going to get what's his name? Will Anderson.
Will Anderson.
Yeah. They look fucking terrible. I don't know why they're so bad. But
because they suck.
If you consider a top 5 pick,
you've lost all your skill positions.
if you consider a top 5 pick a win, that's why I have him as a winner.
Okay. I think you have to take everything with a grain of salt, though. Like, it is still preseason. We'll see how they actually play, but
they're not organized. Yeah. They look like they can't run an offense, let alone fucking score points or get a first down. And then their defense.
I love that. That's
sounds like it's a loser.
Yeah,
their defense is struggling, but they're a winner because they're going to go top 5.
Does Trevor Lawrence get on that list of number 1 picks who don't see a second contract just because he doesn't want to be
like
on the
Sam
team?
Darnold?
That would be wouldn't that be the first?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to fucking be here. Don't give me that.
No, I think he would definitely get the benefit.
It's
of the
different.
doubt.
I think there's a different I think if we're going to look at that, those teams chose not to.
He's
I
gonna
think
be a
the Jaguars
highlight.
are
Is
going
he
to
that first situation where he's like, I don't want to be here? Like an Eli Manning.
No,
I don't want
get
to
a
be on
contract.
this team. Like, trade me.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
We'll probably see that before he even gets to his contract year. They're going to pick up his 5th option.
I think they're
I
really.
mean, they are, but still.
They're bringing in a coach around. I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to like the situation that he's in. They're going to increase.
But
I don't think they're going to fall off even more.
That's why I said it's not for the reason y'all think.
Yeah.
The Jaguars are going to be winners in next year's draft.
Yeah.
As for my losers, Antonio Gibson, we can get past that just because he's not going to start. Tampa Bay, I feel like they're kind of behind the ball a little bit, just because Brady hasn't been there and they're not getting
their offensive line keeps getting hurt.
Yeah, their offensive line's been kind of dealing with injury. But they're not getting the reps they need because they've got some new players. They've got Kyle Rudolph and they've got Julio Jones as well. They're not getting the reps with Brady that they need. Trayvon Diggs, I don't necessarily think that he's a loser in camp. I just think that he's getting a lot of bullshit.
Getting a lot of cooking.
It's the same thing with any player that has a bad rep that is caught on camera.
Yes.
If you get the same type of treatment as every other individual player whenever you're hyping yourself up and you've met the mark of best player at your position in the NFL.
Yeah.
There's a standard held for you, and then when you're
all
getting bad tape out
the
there,
most yards since 2016.
How many interceptions?
He's gonna hear some shit.
How many
he had 11
interceptions did he have?
interceptions last year.
If he has, even if he still does as crazy as 8 and then just gives up less yards, he's still an All-Pro. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
11 interceptions is worth the All-Pro even if you give up.
I was talking to Cody about this because he had brought it up. I was like, the thing is that I think that the coaching that he's getting is a more traditional style corner where he's a man player and he's having to focus in on his receiver and it's getting him slow. It's slowing him down and he's having to make up for the way he's playing.
His over-under is 4.5 interceptions.
I'd take that under.
I'd take the under, too.
It's just so hard to get picks. I mean, it just depends.
He's not
It's
having
hard to-
another
it's hard
season
to
like
There were a lot of
replicate that
fluky
kind
type plays that he was able to
got
take
11 last year, though. And you don't think he's going to get 4?
No.
Or I guess
It's so
5?
hard to replicate.
11
I get
is
that. 5 is crazy. 5 interceptions in a year is still
But also,
pretty damn
those
good.
kind of players,
But-
I've seen it at every level. You get one, and they're like, all right, next game. I mean, they kind of come in bunches.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I actually like the over. I think he'll get 5. I don't know if he's going to get 10, 11 like he did, but I think he's going to get 5.
I don't think he's
4
going
or
to
5.
be a first team All Pro. I don't think he's going to be that good.
Okay,
again.
are you going to do yours?
Well,
Are you
I've
next?
got one more. One more loser. Miles Sanders. Motherfucker can't stay healthy. It's really starting to go on my nerves, dude.
Motherfucker can't stay healthy.
Like,
Yes.
it's so annoying, man. So that's why I think that we're in the Cream Hunt sweepstakes.
You don't just give it to Kim Gainwell? So
I mean,
Yeah,
he's playing
get it
well in
now.
this preseason game. He's already got a touchdown, like 10 carries on his drive. So I don't know. We're going to be running the ball a
y'all need
lot.
to chill the fuck out. I'm sick of y'all getting all the goddamn free agents.
We're pretty great. Pretty
It's like
It's gonna be
the
great when
you
they
all
go
get all
9
the
and
damn receiver free agents for whatever the fuck reason for a year, and then
But if
why
they
couldn't we have that?
but if they blow it,
Yeah.
but if this year's a bad year for the Eagles,
I mean, I'm
boy, is it going to be
We're going
bad.
to be here. We're
All
gonna
the
be here
shit
every
y'all doing
weekend.
is gonna look goofy.
Yes.
It is what it
Hard
is,
season
man.
with the shirt.
Miles Sanders, dude, get healthy. We need you.
Yeah.
Can't be doing this shit where you're the reason we lose to the fucking Raiders and the fucking Chargers, man. We need to be able to run the ball, and you're our best running back. But Anthony, you can go, I guess. That's all that I've got.
I got different ones then. I got a few, but so my first winner is going to be Kenny Pickett out of Pittsburgh.
Yes.
That's
He's
it.
been
Yes.
Yeah.
balling, and I love it.
George Pickens too, man. You
Like-
bunched them together. I'm so.
I
Thank you
fucking
for bringing
completely forgot him. I'm going to go on and put that down because
Woo!
NFL Young Boy is my new
Yeah,
favorite
I love
nickname.
that.
I love
NFL
it.
Young Boy.
Yes.
He's fucking. He is literally fucking NBA young boy, just an NFL player. My second winner, I really like Kenny Pickett. I think he probably edges that job out. I mean, why not? We know what Mitch
They're
is.
interesting. They've got receivers, man. They've got a squad. So if they can get,
They
the right
always have
quarterback-
receivers. They always have a squad
They're the
of
best.
receiver.
You think it'll be similar to the Bears last year, where they kind of said like, Dalton, you're the starter. Like they're kind of guaranteeing that
Yeah,
at
'cause
least
Mitch
for
has,
the
Mitch has had success, and he's.
I
you know
think-
what I mean, he's not.
He looks so bad
yeah.
in his last game.
So I wonder
Yeah,
if
but
he's
it's not a
guaranteed first
given.
3-4 games, and then if he plays bad, maybe he gets benched.
I don't guarantee nothing. This
With
team
all three of their
is-
quarterbacks getting reps,
decent.
so I think that it's not necessarily a done deal on who they're going to start
Yeah.
because it's Mitch, it's Kenny, and it's
They
also
apparently hate Mason Rudolph.
Rudolph. Is
Like
getting the reps,
everyone
though.
in that fucking city organization,
Yeah.
they hate Mason Rudolph.
He's getting the reps though, and he may end up being second on the depth chart just because they don't want Kenny to get out there and really mess
Nah,
up.
Kenny needs to.
I think he should play.
Yeah. Whether we
Kenny's
think
it.
he
I
should
don't think
or
there's high
not is a
enough
different question than if you
expectations.
think he will or not.
There's not high enough expectations.
I think he
for
will.
this
I
team.
think he'll play early
How
Kenny?
early?
I'm
for
wanting
week
to
4.
get.
Week 4?
before maybe.
Latest week 4?
Latest.
I think earliest would be week 4.
Because
would
if they're
surprise
not
me.
able to, if Najee Harris comes out and does what he's able to do, but they're not able to get the production at receiver, I think they will switch it because I think Kenny. Everyone's scared of his hands, and I'm like,
Well, like 8.5-inch hands.
Joe Burrow's got small hands too.
Yeah.
I think
Like-
6 or 7, maybe even 8 games is what I would say.
That's realistically
Because Mitch hasn't done
where
anything to lose the job yet, and they brought him in for a
Yes.
reason. I think
Yeah.
they're going to let Mitch. I don't think. their
But they also
expectations
didn't
are
think
through the
that
roof
Kenny
this
was
year.
going to play this good. Like Kenny's playing
It's
really
preseason,
good,
though.
yeah.
I mean,
but he's a
with-
rookie. The only time preseason matters is if you're a rookie. Like that's literally it. Like because this is
Do they throw
we
him
are
into the
seeing
fire, though?
you.
Does Tomlin do that?
I
don't
would.
see
I
Tomlin
don't think
just
so.
throwing
I
him in
would.
there.
If he's showing that he's this good now against the competition that he's playing against, he's showing that Mitch isn't head over heels better than me. There's no discerning factor that Mitch has. It's like, yeah, he needs to be my starting quarterback.
Yeah.
They've changed the stadium name, so why not change his quarterback? You know,
Yeah.
just
Right? Like let's
reset
fucking like let's feed it. They've got a young team. That's the thing is they're young. Like let's get these players playing early.
Yeah.
George Pickens is going to play early. We know that. Najee Harris, obviously he played. He's going to play. Like let's get Kenny. Why waste our time? We know Kenny's going to be there. Like we know we don't like Mason. We know Mitch is not our long-term option. We drafted Kenny. Let's do it. That just me maybe wanting to jump the gun, but I don't see why we should be beholden to the 1-6 touchdown game that Mitch has in his career. I don't give a fuck about that.
I mean, he's got a decent. He held
He
the
never
Bears
thrown a
together.
pick 6.
The money that they've invested too, it's like $10 million a year.
Yeah.
So like,
I don't
Maybe
think
you
there's
wanna get that
precedent of just
production out of
because
them
we
as well.
paid somebody. If like that's the dumb thing. It's if you're doing it because of that, you're doing it because you don't want to look dumb on your investment.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. We shouldn't be. Now, this is the Browns. This is maybe a different story, but like $10 million, we can fucking cut. Like, we shouldn't be beholden to Mitch because we paid him $10 million. If Kenny is earning the job, he deserves to play.
Yeah, but we're also not there seeing how he's progressing through practice. Yeah. And like we said, he does have weapons. So do you throw him into the fire, week one and say, like, hey, you had this, there's no reason you should fail? Does that kill his confidence or does...
And I'm not even going into it like that. If I'm Mike Tomlin, I'm going into it like, you've shown us enough that you deserve this job, like... let's just learn together. Like, I'm going to have to learn how to play without Big Ben. I'm going to have to learn how to coach without Big Ben.
But then again, are you playing a quarterback who could possibly get you one or two more games on when we know the next draft class is so fucking crazy?
Yeah, but or do you hold out? That they are not going to tank for whatever reason.
You can't.
But I'm not saying tanking, but like, do you sit your rookie quarterback for an entire year, let him just get all these reps, get used to it, and possibly lose two more games?
I think
if it's not the latter of like this extreme improvement, I don't know if it's worth it.
You need to go into the season with a goal. If you think that Kenny could get it done, you also need to figure out if the quarterback play is the reason you aren't getting it done.
Yes. You have to give it time because that division is so competitive.
Yes.
Is it worth it throwing him into the fire, risking him, and while we're not going to...
If you're bad enough...
Any experience he can get playing in the division and playing against these people is experience worth it to me.
Yeah.
If he's just going to play eventually anyways, I'm not beholden to Mitch.
I think Tomlin will make the right decision. Whatever he does, I believe in it.
I agree with that too. I'm not going to sit here and say what Mike is doing is wrong. I just think personally, if Kenny has shown, and what he has shown is he's been their best quarterback.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's go with it.
Who's your next winner?
Romeo Doubs.
Romeo Doubs?
Or Dubs. Yeah. I looked it up. It's Dubs.
It's Dubs?
It's Dubs. Because I was like, I don't know how to fucking say this, but...
That's the
wide receiver for the Packers.
Yeah.
He has looked so good throughout the preseason.
Why is dickhead Aaron calling out his receiver core?
Because all the other ones fucking suck.
Everybody else except Lazard.
So, I mean...
something news-wise, Bakhtiari's off the PUP.
Yeah.
We did not cover that.
To say that earlier.
He's off the PUP.
That's good.
Like, So he went 3 for 5 for 24 yards and a touchdown. His touchdown was really what it was just because his touchdown, that route that they run is something that they would run with Devontae all the time. Devontae out of the slot, back corner of the end zone, wheel with the wide receiver coming in. It looked really good. I like it. I like it because this is a wide receiver who's going to play often. He's going to play early, and he has one of the best quarterbacks to ever throw the football.
So feel a little better about the Packers.
Do you think he's in the starting lineup? Do you think he's earned that?
They have the biggest upside. Like, their receivers have the biggest upside of being winners. Because if you ball out, there's no locks on your starting other than Lazard.
There's also no expectations for him to be good right now.
Exactly. So if you ball out in preseason, you almost immediately earn the starting position. It's so good. It's such a good position to be in for them.
I really like him. I'm going to just jump onto my other winner real quick before I get to my losers. Aiden Hutchinson. I mean, he's as advertised.
Yes.
I've seen it. I saw it. That preseason game, he was fucking amazing. Yeah. He's as advertised. The fucking Lions are going to be a sleeper this season.
I'm so happy for the Lions. They're like my...
Lions are going to
root for a team. It's them and the Jets.
The Lions are going to be a sleeper this season. They got a fucking dog at coach. They got that dog at defensive end.
Yes.
And Aiden.
Jared Goff's kind of like an underdog story too. It's like,
fuck Jared Goff.
Yeah, don't sleep on that
running
back
back
though.
Don't hate on Jared Goff, bro. You hater.
Now,
Andre's supposed to
love Jared Goff.
And Jamal Williams.
Yeah.
Like they got.
I love Jamal Williams.
They got.
He's not beloved in that city.
He's not great, but boy, do I think he should be.
Now,
I really hope.
Now we're gonna jump to my losers, and I'm gonna put a whole fucking team on here because the more and more I see of this fucking team, not only have they not changed, they got worse, and they're probably gonna be really fucking bad this year. The fucking Cowboys, dude, I can't take it. 17 preseason penalties, which should have been 21. On top of the fact that you were the number one penalized team last year, you're either coaching it or you don't give a fuck. It's fucking.
Give it all.
I'll give it to you in a second, but they haven't. They don't. They're. I mean, what have they done? Dude, am I wrong to sit here and say that they look like a worse version of last year's
They
team?
got a pretty good return.
Fucking Devontae Turpin, he was a beast. I'll give you that, but they look like a worse version of last year's team, and that is not going to bode well. My other losers, Jimmy. We aren't seeing anything.
But like he's kind of he's able to just practice on his own.
But I want to see him play.
In terms of financially,
Jimmy G?
Yeah, financially,
I don't think he's a loser.
I feel like whenever he does get cut, because he's going to get cut. He's not going to get the contract he expects.
No, and I'm not saying that's why he's a loser.
Team.
I'm saying he is a loser because we are not seeing him play, which is taking eyes off of him for other teams who are like, okay, well, I want to see him play right now. Yeah, I understand that you're getting Trey ready, but I want to see, if you want me to invest in him, or if I'm supposed to pick him up when he gets cut, I need to see something. I don't want to see practice.
I think people are waiting back, and he's going to be a sneaky
He will be, and I think he's
waiting.
And he could
very competent.
He could be on both of these lists because it's exactly what you're saying. He's going to get cut, which means he can pick where he's going. So he could be a winner. I just think as of right now,
beyond Seattle.
Well, there's a really good possibility, and I know you want to get to your others. There's a really good possibility, I think, for Jimmy G to wait, not sign to a really, really bad team that really wants him for the money,
wait for injury or something,
and wait for say Tua's playing like shit, and he goes there and balls out when is honestly a Super Bowl contending team.
I think they bail on Tua.
I mean, I don't like
if
doing
it's like an injury. It's very possible he gets picked up. I think Jalen's playing like shit. Jimmy could go there and just ball out.
Jalen, it'll be an injury.
I think that's
they'll stick with Jalen until.
I don't think
they'll stick with Jalen until he's injured.
Maybe. But I'm just saying, a team Jimmy could have that possibility.
A team that you're saying that has had prior connections to him that nobody has mentioned is
the
us.
Patriots.
Do
they look at him?
If Mac doesn't take that jump. Belichick didn't want to get rid of Garoppolo already.
He wanted to get rid of Brady first.
He wanted to get rid of Brady and keep Garoppolo.
I think it's possible.
I think it's possible.
I think you all could possible. We have a better chance of making the playoffs if he's at the helm. I really do.
I really like.
We just got to see the jump from Mac.
Talking about a dog. That's a dog, man. He looks so good.
Didn't he make a top 100 list?
Yeah, but
dink and dunk.
I don't give a fuck.
You ain't got no.
That got Brady 6. That got Brady 6. Drew Brees wasn't we sit here and look at all these yards that Drew Brees is passing. He has never been a deep ball passer. He is always slants. Thinking we're not the greatest quarterbacks of all time are not big arm quarterbacks. Peyton Manning is not a big arm quarterback. He's had deep threats, but having deep threats and being able to use them are two.
That's all timing though. Peyton was timing.
Dog.
Big arm quarterbacks. But if we're talking, do you compare Peyton Manning and Aaron? Who's clearly better? Exactly.
Better or historically?
Talented? More talented?
Aaron?
One game right now.
Aaron Rodgers.
You're taking Aaron over Peyton.
Yes.
Regular season, Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, Aaron Rodgers.
No.
Yes, that's how I feel about it. That's exactly what I was going to say.
No, we're not doing a regular season game.
Peyton to a degree, he
in
lost
the playoffs?
so many AFC championships.
Am I taking, Aaron now?
He was playing against Brady.
No shit.
Peyton was throwing fucking ducks in the Super Bowl and got bailed out by his defense. Stop.
I am a Manning hater, and
he's the best anticipatory thrower of the ball ever.
My other one is Drew Lock.
I don't know if he's a loser.
He is a loser because he is getting looked at like you are only here until we can find somebody else. You either show us that you can play or you're gone. And I don't like that for quarterbacks. That's why I don't like the Jalen situation. They've got 2 first-round picks next year. They are very capable of packaging that to get Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud. That's what I don't like that for Jalen because he's going to have to play with that. I don't like that for Drew Lock because he's going to have to play with that. Yeah. And then I'm going to just go to it because it doesn't matter. The Bears' offensive line. They're still fucking terrible. Justin Fields is a loser in this because he has to play behind these fucking garbage bags.
They're lucky they still have Tevin Smith, I think is his name.
I don't know who he is, but they suck.
Whatever the fuck his name is. I hate being a Bears fan.
Yeah. About the Seahawks, though, I think that's coming from the top. I think Pete Carroll needs to get out of there. His old school fucking way of coaching. I mean, he just lost.
Said that on the fucking when we went over the
NFC. Chris Carson's going to hurt him, and he knows it. They like to run the ball, and he's gone for obvious reasons, injury-wise and stuff like that, too. So
who you got for your winners and losers, Cody?
Okay, so my winners, I'm going to put the Cowboys on there. They're on both my lists, by the way.
Duty.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it. We were talking about this. I get this.
Reports have come out. Stephen Jones has come out and said Dak has had his best camp since he's been there, and that gives me like optimism. Like from before he got hurt, first 2 games. I hope top to bottom.
He's the issue though.
Top to bottom, our 1 through 5, our receivers are looking fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Zeke's in good shape. I think it's a very winnable division, and we're gonna get into my losers who. I mean, the only competition I see in this division is the Eagles, and I think the Cowboys have. That might be my bias talking, but
totally not biased.
And I think, especially, seeing you actually have a return guy, you have a weapon back there you can utilize.
Now is he going to rip 2 touchdowns off every game?
He fucking might. I fucking hope so. Speaking of Malik Willis, I think I really like that we all are on board with him. That job's very obtainable, especially, and they're going to have high expectations coming off a 1 seed, and also like if Ryan Tannehill isn't up there, that whole group's going to want something different. Like we're not getting to where we should be. So.
I don't think the group's beholden to Ryan Tannehill, anyways. They just haven't had anybody else.
Yeah, Ryan's had his best seasons with them, and they've actually got a good squad. I mean, he's not making them lose by any means. So. Those are my only winners. There's a bunch of losers. I've got a whole bunch of fucking losers. I'll get into the Cowboys on the losers because they shattered my fucking dreams. I thought we were going to get Roquan Smith. He's apparently come out and say he's playing his contract out.
Yep.
I'm so fucking sad because that means if we got Roquan, we could have moved Parsons back down to his natural fucking habitat on the D line. Go get that quarterback.
But you don't got Anthony Barr. You don't like Anthony Barr?
I like Anthony Barr. It ain't fucking Roquan Smith.
Oh my God. Yeah. Go look at fucking, who was it? Who they were posting, they just posted the highlights and every one of them was Anthony Barr getting murdered on a wheel route. Murdered on a wheel route.
Oh, shit.
It was, it was something on Twitter. He was like, it was him back at the Vikings, but it was like, which is a good testament because that's when he was at his prime. But dude, like, that motherfucker can't cover a wet paper bag.
I'm sick of seeing Parsons run with a receiver down to the goal line.
Yeah, Parsons is your best player. You have to do that.
You don't. If we had Roquan fucking Smith, we would do that.
Ain't happening, bro.
But I want to bring up Diggs because that man had to deactivate his Twitter by getting burnt from practice squad players.
Yep.
I hope he does good.
I think I'm a believer.
I
really am.
Hell yeah.
Do you agree with my perspective on that? That like it's really just the coaching that's kind of like.
Yeah, his way of
I feel like he's making an effort to try to change his game enough to where like he's not getting burnt on big plays.
I hope he doesn't have that mindset. Well, the payoff is I get interceptions. You're also giving up fucking deep balls that are putting them in scoring position.
I think what they're coaching is
if you give your offense 11 more chances, that's a big deal.
Yeah, number one offense we had more opportunities because he was there.
Yeah.
But also
that's not happening again though. That's
I know, but I'm just saying
you
have to think with that. Like if he's going to play with that mindset, then that's what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. But I have seen other clips of corners getting burnt. Slade just got fucking torched by Cooper the other night. So I mean, it's going to happen.
And that's not. That was before. I mean, my perspective on Diggs was before that even came out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair,
I love
and
Diggs.
I think it's the same thing with Diggs, or not with Diggs, but Slay. Like it's one play in an entire preseason.
Yeah.
Same thing with like Daniel Jones, that horrible throw, which was it a throwaway?
Are you?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yep.
Two of his fucking bad throws. Like
two of his throws are so bad.
Yeah.
That was my favorite fucking how do we introduce our new fucking wide receiver quarterback combo by underthrowing them by fucking 7 yards.
That's his arch enemy. He's out to get him or something like that.
Maybe I think honestly it's smart because then like maybe that dude just got big money on Miami. And then they're making the over-unders going down. Like, everything's looking bad for them.
To a midseason form. 10 yards short. But moving on to the next one, it is Danny Dimes.
8.5.
I don't care what anyone says.
Don't call him Danny Dimes if he's a loser.
It's nickname.
Right.
Oh my God.
You're giving Tyrod Taylor first team reps. I don't care what your fucking head coach says. It's not up for performance. No one else is getting. Who's your backup?
The GOAT? Gardner Minshew.
The fucking GOAT?
The GOAT? Number one.
The greatest mustache in the game?
He is in the second preseason game.
The Giants.
But that's because Jalen's not playing.
Yeah.
Like Tyrod Taylor is actually probably going to start for them.
And he's been very competent starter. And
He has.
He's good.
You know, when Danny
He's not
Dimes is
trying to
struggling,
get
they're going to be
killed.
cheering for Tyrod to fucking come in.
He would be the starter for the Chargers right now. If you didn't get murdered.
Murder him.
I think the biggest loser recently, and I'm on the complete opposite of you all, is Carson Wentz and Antonio Gibson.
Yes.
Jim Irsay again came out and said, "Yeah, man, we had a fucking Super Bowl winner roster, but we had very inconsistent play from our quarterback, who threw 27 touchdowns to 8 picks, and that's inconsistent play at your quarter. There's something else going on. He must be a fucking dickhead. I don't care about the
Nobody
rest of
has
the team
liked
wears for this
Carson.
shit.
Nobody has
Nobody
liked Carson
likes
as any
man.
stop he's been in.
And
Eagles fans loved him, but then when he left, all the Eagles players were like,
That's really shifted
ain't
my
it.
perspective on how I.
"You were the biggest.
Dak-
We had to listen to
Yeah,
you
that
suck
shit
his
got
fucking
shut
dick
down
every
quick.
Here's the
night."
deal. There used to be a conversation.
That was you every night with Carson.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry. You can go.
You done? Okay. Anyways, I don't know. It shifted my perspective in how I evaluate quarterbacks. Like Carson to his highest. Whenever you have the highest expectation of him and he doesn't meet that, you're talking about 2017. If he's exceeding expectations, it's going to be what he looks like at the end of the season with the Colts. Is he going to be as bad as those final 2 games with the Colts, the entire season with the Commanders? No. Is he going to have bonehead plays that make it to where maybe that ends up being the standard of his lowest? Maybe.
Maybe Carson is like.
But 2020 for him was the lowest he could ever get. If he ends up being a backup because of that, like, he's still going to be one of the best backups in the
That's
NFL.
the worst. That's alarming to me because he went 27-8.
He's stuck in his ways. He
And
does
you
not
have the
change his
owner
game.
coming out and saying that about him.
Yeah,
Like,
he
that's-
hasn't changed his game enough to where, like, take the fucking check down. Take the 2-yard route. Any negative play we get is going to make it significantly worse. It's like he thinks he can make anything happen whenever it's not true. Anything can't just happen in the NFL.
Yeah, you have
Teams are
to.
too
You have
fucking
to
good.
take what the NFL.
Whenever
Hey.
2017
his
happened,
style of play
anything could
overshadows
happen.
all that.
He's playing Diggs twice.
We'll see.
That's some interceptions for Diggs.
I hope so.
Bet on the
Couple
over.
picks.
He may hit
That
the
man's
over
getting-
on that just because of
Yeah.
the wins.
So
All
you're
right,
saying
so-
5 picks alone from Carson
Going
in
to
between
Diggs.
2
Going
He got,
Diggs.
he got 3 from Jalen.
Yeah,
last
he
year.
got his all-pro
He got
spot
3.
pretty much.
Yeah.
He got 3
that
picks
game.
from Jalen
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah, but Devontae fell over on 1.
I mean, I'm not gonna fucking talk.
Oh,
Listen,
yeah.
we're not gonna excuse the picks that he got. Not
Okay.
happening.
And my final loser
Yeah.
is Fox Sports.
Wow.
They're bringing back Urban fucking Meyer to be
Oh yes,
I
forgot.
I am so happy that you. I didn't think
We go
that this
from
needed to
cancel
be-
culture to fucking forgiving everybody, bro.
I didn't think that
What
this
is
needed to be
going
brought
on?
up, but that
They
is
lost fucking. They lost Troy Aikman and Joe Buck too.
to Amazon,
Holy
didn't they?
fuck.
Yeah.
Troy went to
For Thursday
Amazon.
Night
I know
Football.
that for sure.
Yeah, they're on Thursday Night Football.
That's
They
so
lost
wild.
2 of their best
They're
commentators.
freaking Urban.
Who do they
Meyer
have
back.
now?
Said Urban's going to hold us over till Brady's done.
Yeah, he's gonna hold something.
Who is their Sunday? Because they have like the entire Sunday slate. There's going to be a bunch of different people, but like
Yeah.
they have Sunday Night Football, don't they?
I'm looking up the crew
NBC
right
does.
now.
NBC does.
NBC does, and it's Chris Collinsworth. We're
That's probably why they switched because they.
so iconic.
they
I don't want to ever hear fucking Urban Meyer do anything ever again. I'd like him to just go away.
it's so bad.
Who's gonna be the first one to clown him though, and just be like,
Me. Right the fuck now.
Right the
He's
fuck
fucking dumb.
I just can't believe it, man. When he
Go back to fucking Ohio State and run your team how you want to. Try and talk to a bunch of grown fucking men like they're kids. Get the fuck out of here. And then you want to go out and like what? Was he like fucking that's the most simp shit I've ever seen in my life. Like just like that is like you could tell the only reason he got that bitch in that video is because he's like, hey, I'm Urban Meyer and I've got I got a couple rings from Ohio State, baby. You try and ride this pole. Like, no, like that is literally, and then like, it's just like, dude's got no game. He doesn't know how to coach men. He fucking like, who knows?
Did y'all
bro?
hear the shit?
probably why I'm not even gonna get into that. The
shit that he went
That's
through-
mean, I'm not gonna get it.
the shit that
His
he-
heart issues, probably taking boner pills, fucking getting
my
with.
Pulling to John Jones.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Y'all ready to move on?
Yeah. Yep. That's
can,
that's
yeah.
our.
All right. And this will be our last segment, which we will call Final Call. And this is just going to be pretty simple. We're all just going to present one thing that didn't make the main topics. Anything that we wanted to, we can either ask a question or just present a statement, something that we believe to the group and get everybody else's opinion on it. Anthony, you want to go first?
All right. This is probably going to be controversial because there's some people that I guess are just beholden to what the Lakers were. Not anymore. But I do think if there's going to be a year for the Clippers, it's this year. We arguably have had one of the best off seasons so far. Kawhi, from all accounts, is looking like he's back. Paul George is still that dude. We had one of the best benches. We re-signed Reggie Jackson.
Signed John Wall.
Still got signed John Wall. I mean, we still got a top 4 coach in Ty Lue. And I'm sure people would even rate him higher than that. I want to get past this shit of like there's like a rivalry. It's not a fucking rivalry. They suck. They have not been good.
The Clippers have never been good.
We've never been. We have never been as good as they. We don't have a championship. I will give you that. But we've been the better team, literally every year except for the year that they won the championship. I mean, we can look back to Kobe. They weren't beating us. They're not beating us now. We're better. The biggest question I have is Kawhi going to play? Because
you said he's back for how many games?
Yeah. Like he's back and he's looking good. I want to see.
Load manage.
Even if he load manages, I just want to know that he's able to play. Because load managing is different than he's out. Because last year he was out. He couldn't play. If he's load managing, that just means he's going to be ready for the playoffs, and that's when he's the best.
Paul George has shown he can carry that team.
Paul George has shown that he can get us there. Like
So do you think they're a championship team?
I think we are a championship, yes. A championship.
Will they be your favorites
to
win the championship? All healthy?
No, just because I still think Bucks should probably be favored, and the Nets should probably be favored. Suns, maybe. I think it's going to be a really fully healthy. I think it'll be a really competitive.
You didn't name the Celtics?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
So James Winston really does have a shot to be a Pro Bowler, right?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Fucking wild. That's crazy. This team's not winning a title. First of all, they're not even going to be the
I
Clippers.
like your depth. I like your roster.
So hold on, really quick before.
No,
where do you rank them? In the
West. Do the West first.
No, just in the NBA, fully healthy. Where do you rank them?
We could be a top 10 team.
Top 10?
Top 10.
A third of the league?
So.
No fucking shit.
But if we're sitting here, look, it's just so hard.
Top
because
that's it?
Yeah,
I thought you were going to be
like a top 4 team to be a title contender.
I mean, I think our ceiling is
is
probably 5 because I don't think we're better than the Warriors. I don't think we're better than the Bucks. I don't think we're better than the Suns, and I don't think we're better than the Celtics. Those, I agree with them. Miami's questionable.
Oh my god, I'm higher on the Clippers than you.
I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, now that I'm thinking about it,
bro, I think they're easily
I think the league is going to be more open this year than it's ever been, though. I think the league will be better this year. I think I'm low. I think I'm probably really
the same thing that you said about.
I think they're
Christian
probably
McCaffrey,
the third best team.
Anthony Davis, they haven't proven to be able to stay healthy. Same thing with the situation.
That's why
that's why, and that's my number one
At
question
best,
is if
I think
Kawhi's
they're
going to
a
play.
top 3 Western Conference team.
That's another thing I was thinking of it from the sense of
they're
the
better
West
than the Lakers. They're better than I think they're not better than probably Phoenix.
Phoenix is.
I'm not high on Phoenix. I think Phoenix takes a gigantic dip.
Yeah, but they paid DeAndre Ayton, which means he's going to be he'll play now.
Phoenix, Golden State.
They paid him so he wouldn't leave. I don't think they paid him because they want him.
Yeah, but he got his money. He's happy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Phoenix, Golden State for sure. Maybe Memphis if they can take a step. Dallas. Are you all better than Dallas?
Yeah.
Yes.
No. We're better than Dallas. Now, if we're going to talk about player, Luka is that guy, but
I think
we beat him last year.
I don't think y'all better than Dallas.
We're the worst team.
I think if they're fully healthy, Celtics, Bucks are the only 2 teams I put up.
Celtics, Bucks. I think
the Warriors
pushing them, and it depends on James Harden.
Depends on James Harden.
If James Harden is back to where he's
I'm going by proven teams: Celtics, Bucks, Suns, Warriors.
I don't take Suns,
you
maybe
all have
Warriors.
The extra drama from the owner, from the coach. You all have a great. I love.
Well, we got rid of all
that.
We got rid of all that.
We
got rid of.
I don't see y'all winning 4 games against the Bucks. That's just why I don't think y'all are team.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But
even if the Nets, if they come back fully,
but you realize if we're losing to the Bucks, that means we were in the championship, right?
Yeah.
That means we were a championship team.
Yeah, but I don't think
you just contradicted yourself.
Well, I'm saying that at the very most, that y'all could get to is the champion. Y'all could get to the finals, maybe. And that's if maybe the Warriors are.
I think that's a
Kawhi is also
great for you.
Kawhi
Yeah,
is
great.
also like
That's
number
the best
one in
season
win
that the Warriors-
percentage
that the Clippers have
of
ever
people
had.
who qualify. Kawhi's won the most games of people who qualify.
Yeah,
I think they can win.
qualified.
I think they can
Yeah.
win a championship. Like
I think
they're
we could, too.
I think they're a championship winning team. I just think
If I had to
that
put money on it, y'all aren't. You're not winning the championship.
I mean, yeah, I don't.
if I had to put money
Shout
on
out
it, no.
Shane Young. He's really high on you all too.
Yeah.
Well, Shane covers.
Y'all's roster
is
That's
really
the
fucking
thing.
good.
Shane is covering.
If John
us.
Wall
He's-
can get back to being like a decent
a
guard,
fucking
like a
squad.
decent.
Like,
I
look
don't
at
know.
this.
Hey,
Like
you're kind of sleeping.
Robert
You're sleeping on
Covington,
your own damn
Nicholas
team.
Batum,
You got
Marcus
Zubac
Smart.
off the bench. He's probably
Zubac's
not
gonna
gonna
start.
He's still gonna be good.
You're sleeping on your own team. They're
I'm
easily
sleeping
top
on
five.
us.
Easily top five.
Yeah, I just.
Robert
I
Covington.
think the league is going to be better. So, like, I think there's going to be a lot of teams that because,
know,
like, you got to think. I don't think
Y'all better than
Memphis.
Memphis.
That's why I was saying I don't think Memphis is taking a step back. Luka and them aren't going to take a step
That's
back.
the thing. Like I think y'all
it's-
are around that Dallas.
I think we're better
Dallas is
than
around-
them.
Yeah,
I think
y'all
we're
are
better
around
than Dallas and Memphis. But like,
Yeah.
who's to say that Ja doesn't take the next step up?
Yeah.
Like Luka is Luka. Who? What if he wins MVP? Like,
They lost Jalen Brunson, didn't they?
Yes.
To
He goes to
the
the
Knicks.
Knicks.
Which is-
the Knicks.
which is honestly the Knicks would probably been on my losers because I think that's a dumb pick. But
Oh,
that's just
he played so fucking well in the playoffs.
he
Yeah,
played
they're
so
paying-
well
they-
in the
they were
playoffs
offering
for
him money
that.
as soon as he
They're
hit the
paying
ball.
him. They're paying him money that they could have paid Donovan Mitchell, and I think we both know who's better. In that
Oh yeah,
sense.
but yeah, that's a crazy comparison. But
Look at
yeah, it
Clippers
was a
winning the
good-
championship this year.
I think it's a very good.
It all
sign.
comes down to health. With
Call
yes.
them.
I mean,
If they're
you all-
fully healthy in the playoffs, I don't. know
We
if I
match
take
up
them
with
as the-
every team in the West.
Yeah, I don't know if
every
I take
team
them
in the
to
West,
win.
at least fully healthy, we match up perfectly against
Yeah.
them because we have the defenders that can defend the Warriors.
Oh yeah.
Like we have the defenders
best
that
defenders in the league.
we have the defenders that can. The only team we're going to lose to are teams with bigs. Giannis. Like that's why I'm scared of the Suns because if DeAndre Ayton is playing.
No, I'm pretty big on y'all too.
Yeah.
For sure.
I will keep it NBA because that's what mine is. How's everyone feeling about the Hawks' new big three?
Pretty good.
I like the
I
East
really-
isn't as deep, and you know what I mean. Like
Yeah,
you need a big three to compete over there.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I mean,
I don't think this
how do you
changes
rank-
their
how do you rank
directive
them?
much.
how do you rank them in the East? Like,
so. They were could be a play-in team, like a play-in team to like maybe missing the play-in team. I think they're a playoff team.
I agree with that, but
Like maybe they move up to like the 6 seed, 6 or 5.
so they have the Celtics, Bucks, Sixers, Heat.
trying to think of what the playoffs
Who
looked
else
like
was
last year.
kinda above them?
Let's see. Let's look at the roster.
Yeah. Look,
well, they were
Who is the Eastern Conference?
they were a
top
playoff team last year. I'm pretty
Celtics,
sure.
Bucks, Heat,
I'm dead. I can't do it.
Sixers. That's I really can't
Fucking
think
pull up
anybody
the
else.
WNBA like I give a shit.
Yeah. So I think they move up to. Well, let's see what they were last.
So it was Miami, Boston, Milwaukee, Sixers, Toronto, Bulls,
Toronto.
Nets, and Hawks at the 8 seed.
The Nets too. Yeah.
I think they could
There's
be
a lot
better.
going
They
on
could probably
with
be
the
better
Nets,
than the
too.
Bulls.
See, they don't change in my opinion. They are the same.
Really?
Yes. They are not a better team. Adding DeJounte Murray than the Bulls. They are not a better
Really?
team than the Sixers. No, the Bulls
Do you
are
think
really
DeMar
good.
DeRozan has like that same type of campaign though, where he's like MVP?
If Trey cuts down his turnovers and stuff, like he
Zach
I think
Zach
they move
LaVine
up.
missed
I think they
time.
move up to that. I think they could be like a 4
You're right
seed.
about that.
four.
I don't know how much it changes in the playoffs for them. Is my only thing, but I think that
They
do
still
move up.
probably lose to whoever they play in the first round.
I think
Yeah.
that's very, very possible.
Well, they're
Because
probably
like if
going
that
up
fit,
against the Bucks at that point.
Or the
well,
Heat.
if they're like the
Well, they
4,
played the Heat.
if they're the 4, yeah. If it's like the 5, if they're playing like the Heat, I think the Raptors are going to be a lot better. I just think that they might get off like regular season. I don't think they're going to take too much of a step, but I think playoffs they might. And then like Philly, I very much think they could lose that series to either of them, but.
Yeah.
I think their seeding will move up a
I
lot.
keep seeing Trey and Luca like that's like the best swap,
Yeah,
trade
yeah.
swap ever. But I want to see him be up there with Luca.
Yes.
I want to see him, lead a team.
I actually hate Trey.
Luca's been or
Hate
Trey's
him.
been
I
part of
hate.
it.
I just really like
Like, his person
DeJounte.
or his play or
All of it.
Really?
I really am. Just don't like Trey Young at
Trey's
all.
been-
but I just like what the Hawks have done. I think
Trey's
they're-
done.
They've.
I
done
mean,
a
if
lot
we're
of good
looking
shit.
at it, Trey has been farther than Luca has. Trey took them to the finals.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
no one puts
Like-
him on that same level,
Yeah.
especially after last
They
season.
should not have
Yeah.
beat the Sixers though. My God,
Yeah.
the Sixers blew it. They're fucking
Trey
terrible
led
in
that team,
series.
though. So I can see it. He,
They
he is
fucking.
cutting
That's
out
what I'm
his
saying. I'm
turnovers.
Yes.
not.
He really does.
I'm
Yeah, I
not
think-
taking away what he's done. He's done more than Luca.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
the
so
fact
far.
of the matter.
So
You're
far,
not
yes.
taking him over Luca. I don't
I'm not,
Yeah,
but
you're not.
he's done more than Luka.
All right, I guess mine.
Yep.
Or do you want to go first?
I mean,
What's your last?
Are you in the NFL or NBA?
NFL.
Okay, I am too. So.
Yeah, so that's why we did
Mine,
the NBA.
mine isn't really different from because
All right,
I
I
feel
kind
like mine's going to take
All
longer.
right, Cody, go ahead.
Well, I
Cody,
kind of
go ahead.
talked on them a little bit. The Giants, I think they're on the verge of being
Losing
in
the team.
the bottom of the league, like poverty of the league. They are
Like, just cut this team out of the league.
they are very, very close.
Change the team.
Daniel Jones, I think they hate him. I think
He doesn't give them a reason to
they
love him.
low key want anyone else, but they are fucking stuck.
Yeah.
They are gatekeeping Saquon Barkley.
Mm-hmm.
Please trade him to the Bills. And
Trade him to a
honestly,
team. Oh my god.
They've got great
God, that'd be
ownership.
so nasty.
They've got great ownership. They just cannot get it right anywhere else. Lost Evan Ingram, who is decent. They've lost Kenny Galladay.
Yep.
They've lost fucking Kadarius Toney, who had like a spurt of.
I'm
good
pretty excited
game,
for the
but-
rookies. They're rookies to me. They're
Wandale Robinson
Wandale
and
Robinson's
Thibodeau,
been
like
lighting up. You've got
Evan Neal.
Evan Neal and Kevion.
But they're a
Thibodeau.
team, I always have players on teams that I really, really like, and I really like Saquon, and they've had fucking weapons, and Daniel Jones, you're as good as your quarterback can take you.
When you
and I
sign-
think he's fucking terrible.
He's awful.
When you
So
sign
they're-
Kenny
they're-
Galladay for that much and he doesn't get a fucking touchdown, what does that say about the quarterback?
It's
10
How do you
touchdowns,
not
9
have-
picks. 10 touchdowns, 9 picks. I'm
they're
pretty
going
sure
to
he's
be.
gonna
I think they're on the verge of being just at the bottom of the league, poverty Texan level.
They're dropping hard. Yeah. I was just looking at that.
I had them winning one game in our
Same.
Yeah, one game.
The Giants.
The Giants, yeah, they're
And
bad.
it's sad because they're in the biggest media market in the
Yeah.
world, and they've got.
His
Even if
last
they went out and
season
got
was
a Jimmy G,
fucking
if they
bad.
got, I don't want Bryce Young to go there. I don't want C.J. Stroud to go
No.
there.
I
I don't
hate
want
that
Will
for
Levis
them.
to go there. I don't want these
I feel like
big
if they
name
do,
quarterbacks to go
though,
there.
they've got a
I'd be
decent
perfectly fine
landing
with Will
spot
going
because
there.
they've got a good
They
coach.
got a
Hey,
decent fucking landing spot, but they ain't got nothing else to go with it.
Do you think it's Daniel Jones that's holding the team back?
No,
Yeah,
this
hey,
team
then-
is bad. This team as a roster
is
is bad. They don't have a defense. They might have fixed their offensive line with Evan Neal,
Their
but they
cap
can't.
situation's so fucking horrendous. Their management.
You paid a bunch of receivers who didn't catch any touchdowns.
Nope.
Like, and
David
that's back to the
Gettleman
quarterback.
ruined
but-
their prospects for the next couple of
Gave
years.
Kenny Galladay a bag too.
That was a horrible contract.
What was like? This is the thing that I think when I look at teams like this. This is what were you when you were winning? You had a quarterback
Dominant.
in Eli
Dominant
who,
defense?
yes,
He ate
Dominant
crayons,
defense.
but he was
he wasn't gonna
He
lose.
didn't
He
lose
wasn't
games.
necessarily gonna lose you a game.
yeah.
And he was
that's-
the
In that
luckiest-
defense, yes, he was
One of the luckiest people I've ever seen.
In
in my
that
You
life.
had a
defense?
depth at running back. You had 3 running backs: Earth, Wind, Fire.
Yes.
Brandon Jacobs, all of them.
Jason
fucking-
Pierre-Paul. You had,
You had a defense.
Michael Strahan.
Yes.
Like when
Antonio
they were
Rogers
winning,
Cromartie.
like-
They had defensive stars.
I don't
Haven't been there in
get
a
why
while.
teams stray away from those. Like, I don't get why you stray away from what was winning you games. Like, you should have known even with Eli that you didn't have a great quarterback
Should
situation.
have known what damn you played at Duke.
But now that you don't have Eli, you should even be more worried. Like, I just don't get it.
They're
They're an embarrassment.
gatekeeping fucking Daniel Jones and say get these guys
Fourth in the division.
out of there.
Fourth in the division. That's what we all had.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fourth in
Fucking
division, probably
Fucking
bottom 3 in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah. We good on this one?
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to mine.
Fucking joke.
So my last call topic is week 1 matchups. We got a couple of really interesting games. Obviously, we've got the Thursday night football game. That's Buffalo at Los Angeles.
That's the first game of the
It's-
season.
That's the very first game of the season.
Easily, like for me, that might be like my most excited game of the year.
Yeah,
The
no, that's
entire
going to
year.
get ratings. That's going to
That's going to kick off the season.
Yeah.
Into, like,
Yeah.
Based on how well these two teams play against each other, I feel like it's
Cowboys
gonna
Packers going to do numbers because the Cowboys
Yeah,
playing.
yeah.
Bucks.
That's going to probably be up there.
Bucks.
But,
with views.
Y'all play Bucks.
What?
Well,
That's
he's talking about the Packers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, I think that's easily my most anticipated game, probably of the year, but
that's
easily
gonna
week
tell us
1.
so much.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Better
you've got-
Vikings and Packers.
you've
They
got-
play week 1.
Week
That's a
1,
good one. It's a really good one.
there's story.
Raiders and Chargers.
To me, it's
Love
storylines.
that.
It's mostly about storylines. You've got Cleveland against Carolina. You got Baker Mayfield playing his former team.
I think
They're gonna
Baker's gonna
dominate.
ball.
They're
Yeah.
going to dominate that game. You've got
McCaffrey.
New England and Miami.
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to see early on what both of those offenses look like. Let's see.
Can't wait
You
to
got
watch
Jacksonville
this motherfucker.
against Washington. Carson Wentz playing his former coach.
Yeah.
Dougie P, yeah.
And we're going to
Kansas
get
City?
absolutely fucking
Broncos and
murdered.
Seahawks? Russell Wilson's
Broncos,
going
Seahawks,
back
that's
to
the Monday,
fucking...
that's the Monday night game. You've got
They're
Tampa
gonna whoop
Bay.
their ass.
Tampa Bay at
It's not
Dallas.
going to be close.
Tampa Bay at Dallas. Mm-hmm. That's a really good one. And
We're
then
going to
you,
get our ass whooped.
Raiders, Chargers.
That's what I said.
Yeah, that one's crazy.
what about Kansas City, Arizona? How y'all feel about that
I
one?
don't give a fuck.
It's just I would
I want to see them
D-Hop.
fully loaded.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
wanna see
D Hop's
them
the
fully
big
loaded.
question here.
Yeah.
If D Hop's there, then I'm like,
D-Hop
this is
isn't
a-
going to come
this is a
back
hell
until
of a
that
team.
team's bad because it's going to be after
A
week
lot of
8.
guys still, a lot of people still have Arizona in their top 10 overall teams, like post draft, post preseason games and stuff.
Yeah, but
So
what I'm betting
don't count
on is
on
what they
Kyler.
do every season is week 8, week 9, and then it just fizzle out.
Yeah, I don't know. I
We
feel
can
like
get into that more, like with Kyle Murray and stuff. They kind of figure his ass out. And he starts
I feel like eventually that has to change. I think that either they get a lot better this year in the second half of the year. Maybe D Hop coming back will spark some energy, or you start switching shit up.
because I mean, what was it? Them they didn't even want to pay out bonuses to the coaching staff
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
So
it got
that was-
so bad. They were like, we didn't get what we wanted, and
Yeah.
that's toxic to me.
Yeah.
And that could really linger with all the other stuff going on. It kind of that it's giving more attention to that than their roster and stuff. And a hard division. Such a hard division too.
Yeah.
It's
I think
Good storylines
the
for
games
sure.
that have the biggest implications to me of week 1 are obviously Buffalo, Los Angeles.
Easy.
I'd say that Miami, New England, that could probably swing some division.
where's it at?
That's in
It's
Miami.
Miami.
Yeah,
Yeah,
week
so
1.
that's gonna be tough.
Maybe even the Arizona, Kansas City shit because the Kansas City needs to win games out of division
they
just
can't
because
fall in an early hole.
they're
at
going
all.
to be playing tough.
Well,
games
that
within the
division's going to be made by who wins the most out of division games.
Vegas and Los Angeles Chargers. Mm-hmm. That's a week 1 matchup that's going to be cool.
Yeah,
Green Bay, Minnesota. That's a tone setter for who I think is going to
I love
play
that
out
game.
and how the division.
That's going to be such a fun
yeah.
game.
Whoever wins that probably wins the division.
I've got the Vikings being better than them, but hearing this about the receivers and camp and stuff, I'm a full believer in Aaron Rodgers too. So it's
Even Dallas's game
Really
with
fun.
Tampa Bay.
I'm a full hater, so I'm going all Minnesota.
Dallas's game with Tampa Bay. I feel like that's a tone setter for the Cowboys season as a whole because they start out with a pretty tough schedule.
no one has given us a chance.
And
Everyone comes into Jerry World and just beats our ass. So I don't know. I'm not happy about it.
compare it to what Philly starts out with. They're starting out with Detroit and then Minnesota.
Keep talking shit.
Fuck y'all up.
Keep talking shit.
What?
Troy going to pull one out.
DeAndre Swift gonna
No,
go
I'm just
off on
saying.
y'all.
You want to put some bucks on it?
Who's the tougher opponent, Detroit or Tampa Bay? Like,
Detroit.
Come on.
I know you're
Detroit.
joking.
Yeah.
You're obviously joking.
Ooh, Steelers Bengals. That's a good one too.
Yeah.
That's a good little match.
There's a lot of division matchups, but like, there's games that like clearly San Francisco.
Y'all
should be-
might lose
Chicago
that game.
should
And
lose.
it's at
Yeah,
Detroit.
should.
Woo.
Justin Fields might get sacked 8 times.
By the
in
way,
that game.
Timmy and I are
That's
going to that
San
game. We're going to the
That's
Detroit
me
game.
sick. Yeah,
So I may not be here for the second episode, but we'll see.
Don't get robbed.
We'll see.
Or shot.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Second
fun.
episode.
Yeah.
Damn, fucking season does start soon.
yeah.
I am so happy, bruh.
2 weeks.
Football's back, baby.
Yep. Let's do it.
Woo! Man, this is...
And that's been the Totally Not Biased
Yeah,
podcast.
there we go. Fuck yeah.